life's like a movie. His mama keep falling in love. My life's like a movie.
Ow. I still don't know what the fuck that song's about, bro. Like, how is your mama falling in love? How does that make your life like a movie? Like, I don't get it.
His
I don't
life
get
is crazy. It could only be told in a movie.
Oh,
song is that?
Max B.
Oh shit. Okay.
Because isn't the second time he says my life's like a movie, isn't he saying because mama keep taking them drugs?
No, I don't think he says that.
My life's like a movie because mama keep falling in love. My life's like a movie because mama keep taking them drugs.
No, he says, and I'ma keep smoking the drugs.
Oh, I knew somebody was doing drugs. Ow. The last funny thing, I'm just kidding. Welcome to Hindsight. I'm Derek. That's Jeff. That's Brandon. I'm Derek, and this is Heat. I almost decided to play the 50 Cent version of Heat because it's a fucking incredible first verse. Not a whole song. Not an incredible whole song. Not going to give him credit for that. But that first verse is fucking impossible to top, especially the part where he says, you could squeeze your little handgun until it runs out, and you could run for your backup, but my machine gun shell is going to tear your back up. God's on your side, but shit, I'm all right with that, because we're going to relive them clips and come right back. It's a fact, nigga. You go against me, you're fucked. Your lady luck don't see you. You out of luck. Look, nigga, don't think you safe because you moved out the hood, because your mama's still around, dog, and that ain't good.
How do you know
if
this song?
If you were smart, you'd be shook at me, because I get tired of looking for you. Spray your mama's crib and let your ass look for me.
Yep. That sounds like 50.
This is completely random that you just know that song.
It is not random at all. This song is called Heat, but he never says heat in it. That's why I never played it, except for the heat, cock it, and dump it. The drama really means nothing to me. I'll ride by and blow your brains out. I'm shocked. If this movie came out literally 13 years later, 50 Cent would have been in it. This feels like the type of expendable. Yes, nigga. This feels like the type of movie where he would have been Dennis Haysberg's role.
No, he would have did Tone Loc's role.
Either or. But 50 would have been in here somewhere. And yes, we're talking about Heat, starring Al Pacino and Robert De Niro and Val Kilmer. And surprisingly enough, Ashley Judd. Like all these luminaries. Yes, because all these luminaries, and we're like, let's get Ashley Judd in here.
Yeah. I feel like she was popular at that time.
This movie came out in
1995?
This movie came out in 95. Let's see. No, there were other white women who could have been doing this. It didn't have to be Ashley Judd. I'm not mad that it's Ashley Judd, but there were other white women who could have.
Well, let's look at that. Who?
I'm glad you asked, Bob. Let's see. Actresses in
He's just going to say any white woman.
No, I am any white
woman.
No. I mean, I'm sure that any white woman could have done it, but no, like honestly, like shit. Wikipedia doesn't have a list for that kind of shit. I just feel like Wikipedia would do that kind of a list. The highest paid actress in 1995 was Demi fucking Moore. Let's start there.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
I'm just saying, like, best actresses in 1995, Susan Sarandon. Jessica Lange was old.
Susan Sarandon wouldn't have fit that role.
Neither did Ashley Judd.
When was Ashley Judd's prime? Is that around her prime?
When did she make Double Jeopardy?
Good question.
Double Jeopardy was a great movie that she was in. That was her prime.
I'm pretty sure that's like the next year.
You sure ain't not? Well, yeah, you might be right.
Double Jeopardy is definitely a mid-90s movie.
It felt
It
like a mid '90s movie.
Oh no, it wasn't. 99. That was a few years later.
Oh, that's for you
So,
later. So,
so yeah, no, she
mm,
Susan Sarandon was too old for it. Candice Bergen was there. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I was just shocked to see Ashley Judd in the midst of all these luminaries, and I'm sure she was shocked too. Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, it was 2 luminaries.
Was it though?
Val Kilmer's not a luminary.
Val Kilmer literally did this while he was also doing Batman Forever.
what a year.
I mean,
At the same time.
that's
At
not
the
saying
same
much.
exact time.
No, don't do that. Let's not do that.
Nah, just because that movie ended up being Cheeks doesn't mean it wasn't a fucking Batman movie in the 90s. That was saying something. Batman in the 90s was Spider-Man of the 2000s.
I don't fault the actors that played Batman and Bruce Wayne. There's other reasons why those movies, are what they are.
And I mean, honestly, fucking Al Pacino's wife in this movie wasn't the best either. Like they just chose some.
There you go.
They
That's
just
the
chose
only
some.
thing.
They just chose some bad choices for the
watching it. I was just
80s.
like, I guess she just stuck out of all the great actresses and actors. I was just like, I guess I don't know. Maybe she just read well for the part. I don't know.
I don't think she did. I don't
Maybe
think
he brought what she need. What they wanted from the role. I don't know. Leave it alone at that. She don't take away from the movie, but
No.
she is.
But she doesn't add to the movie. And what's the best way to say it? Like, I don't want to sound like crass when I say it, but let's be real. Like,
average performance.
Average, very average. That's the best. Sharon fucking Stone, ladies and gentlemen. Like 2 or 3 years later, she be Robert De Niro's girl in Casino. Why the fuck couldn't she be Val Kilmer's wife in fucking Heat?
There was nothing wrong with Ashley Judd in the movie.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with Ashley Judd in the movie. I thought
it's just
they fit. They fit. They're like a couple that you will see.
You know what? Gwyneth Paltrow was out there.
She was really young at that point.
Well, they were supposed to be young in this movie.
They were?
I think. Like Chris
is probably like in late 30s, I thought.
Paltrow would have been 22 years old. She'd have been really young.
Yeah, but you act like they don't make, back in the 90s, they didn't make ladies play older characters all the fucking time anyway.
Not a 22-year-old.
Yeah, they would have.
She probably looked like a child. They more likely to have her play a teenager.
No.
Yeah, that's possible.
Gwyneth Paltrow. Like, when did Seven come out?
That was 90 what?
That was the 90s. That was her and Brad. But look, so yeah, so all hate mail could be directed to the wall behind my house. The movie was so fucking good that I don't have any complaints except for the fact that Al Pacino saw Robert De Niro's name on there too, and he was like, "I better bring in my energy." And so Al Pacino'd all over this movie. And I didn't notice that the first time I saw this movie. I didn't notice it the second time I watched this movie. Wait. But Al Pacino's shit was on the level of The Room at certain areas of this. Right? Right? Oh my God, what the fuck? Oh, Jesus Christ, that great ass line was ad-libbed.
I know.
And it scared the fuck out of Hank.
He's like,
what the fuck are we doing?
Ain't nobody gonna say cut, I guess.
She does have a great ass. Like, what the fuck? I just want to start this whole thing off by saying to take note, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, listeners, thank you for listening. Take note that there is no problem in any movie or any TV show that can't be made worse with the addition of a long-haired, scraggly, dirty, scruffy white man being added to the mix.
Boy, here we go. Now let's look at this. Now let's talk about this. Now that crew was a tight crew.
That's what.
A pretty intelligent crew at that, right? So why are we playing away games with this random ass dude that look like that don't even fit with us?
Like you got the long hair. This motherfucker reminded me so much. He looked like Nicolas Cage from Con Air.
He did have that hair. Like he had, bro, like he shot the pheromone with Kyle Reese. Like, bro,
you got a nigga with a mullet riding around with Michael Chirito. Michael's rolling around in a fucking 3-piece suit. One of these things is not like the other.
That was a terrible wig too.
Was it a wig?
It was absolutely a wig.
Was it though? You sure about that?
Did you see the front of his head?
It's the 90s, sir.
Wig or not, that motherfucker made him look like a fucking Wayne Grow. I tell you that much.
He looked like Wayne Grow.
That looked like a Wayne Grow.
Like, what's your name? Wayne Grow? Oh, yep. And you're from Waynesboro? Yep.
That absolutely fits.
Like everything after that point, everything past that point did not surprise me about Wayne Grow. Like when he was sleeping with the sex worker, the young black sex worker who was 16, and the nigga revealed that he had a fucking swastika on his stomach, was not surprising in the least. That's some Wayne Grow shit, to have a swastika on his stomach and be fucking a black woman or a black girl. Did not surprise me in the least.
Talking about he the Grim Reaper. The decision making from this group was terrible. It was just terrible from jump.
Terrible, Ernie.
But
terrible.
honestly, when he got in the truck with Mike, Mike kind of looked at him like, I don't know about you.
I don't know.
He gave him the side. I don't really know about this, but I guess we in the time crunch, so you're gonna have to work.
And motherfucker was asking way too many questions. I know y'all are a tight crew, but how long you been working together? What's everybody's names? Do you like your job?
So stop talking slick.
And for the whole case to come together, because this nigga ain't got no other nicknames for nobody. Slick. That was it. That's all he calls people is Slick. Like, dude, that's like me calling my ex-girlfriend Sugar Plum and then calling my wife Sugar Plum. And then we're walking through the store and I say Sugar Plum and my ex-girlfriend's head pops up because she's heard that somewhere before. You know how strange it is for a person to hear that from their cellmate and just remember it? You know what? Let's start the story where it's supposed to be at. What the fuck made his job so fucking valuable that Wayne Grow had to be a part of this group?
Here we are. The question that'll never get answered.
You need somebody who will do anything.
Trejo was the getaway driver. Val Kilmer was the guy who drilled safes. We
say that kind of like the tech
and bombs.
Yeah, hands guy, like get him, do that stuff.
Yeah. Michael was
he was the raw card. Like he's the one who gonna do whatever needs to be done.
Yeah. So he was like the Weebay from Belly. He'd do anything, Neil was a super smart thief who would case joints perfectly and always had an escape plan and everything. And then there's fucking Wayne Grow.
You need somebody who be willing to do anything.
No, the fuck you don't.
That's why Michael was there. You didn't need two people playing that role.
And not only that, no, the fuck you don't. And you know what you really don't fucking need to do? You don't need the first time that you introduce this motherfucker to the group to be the day of the goddamn robbery.
He was on one from Jump.
Jump Street.
You see that coming from their ear, they can't hear you. He just wanted to shoot somebody. He just wanted to kill somebody.
He was like, you gave me a mask and a gun? What happens next will shock you.
He had to make sure there were no witnesses. Somebody might have been able to identify by voice or something. He had to handle that.
See.
So Brandon
you the motherfucker that let Wayne Grow slide with us. I know how you get there.
Brandon Starr and I watched Breaking Bad for one of our A Seat at the Space Table shows. And at one point, they're robbing a train. Walt, Jesse, and I always forget the redheaded guy's name once I walk away from the show for a while. They rob the train. It's an exciting ass episode. Everything's good. They're getting away scot-free. And then they look over after they get the shit out the train, and there's a little kid on a fucking moped. And the guy sees this dude, sees a little kid, and Jesse knows exactly what this guy is about to do, and he screams out no as the dude pulls out his gun and shoots the kid in the head.
Well, I can't think his name on the show, but ain't his name like Jesse Plemons?
Yeah, Jesse Plemons in real life, but on the show I can't remember what his name is. But that's Wangro. Like, yo, we are done.
We got it. We got what we came.
We got what we came for. Nobody's face got seen. We're right on time. We're right on schedule. Everybody's yelling out 8 minutes. We got like 7 minutes. Somebody put out the spike strip. So when the cops came out, they're going to run over the spike strip. That was really fucking smart. I was like, can you get that at Walmart? I wasn't quite sure. Home Depot? Like, where do you get a fucking spike strip from?
They stole
like that big. From who?
The cops.
I mean, Val Kilmer know people.
Right?
Know people who know people.
So everything's laid out. They got the timers. They're all coordinated. And Wangro is just looking at this motherfucking armored truck security guard. Like, you want to take a poke at me? You want to do something? Huh?
He made a move, man. I had to get it on.
What move? Nigga ain't got no gun. He ain't be got no weapon. So.
But you know what the crazy thing is, though? Wangro is the reason why everything fell apart.
Everything.
Specifically him. He was like the fucking what's your man in Marvel?
Star-Lord?
Baron. Yeah, his name the Baron. I can't think of his name right now.
Who?
Shit. Old boy that broke up the Avengers.
I'm
Star-Lord?
No, the dude that broke up the Avengers. The one who gave Winter Soldier the got the cold.
Captain America. Baron
Baron Zemo.
There you go, Zemo.
Yeah,
Shit.
Baron Zemo.
Tip of my tongue.
So
he caused all the downfall of this crew.
So Al Pacino is fucking his wife, Justine. Vincent is fucking his wife, Justine, and just finished. They're taking a shower and everything. While he's in there, his stepdaughter, I didn't even think it was a stepdaughter. Honestly, I thought they were just boyfriend and girlfriend, and she was just like, "Hey, Vincent." But I guess her dad is supposed to be coming to pick her up, and I guess it's like the 11th time that this nigga's pulled this where he doesn't show up. But Lauren, that's Natalie Portman's name in the movie. Lauren, I still believe. Like, I gotta have this straight, and had me thinking that this little girl might be autistic.
She's not autistic.
I think she just want her daddy approval.
Yeah, she's one.
No, I'm not talking about the he's coming to get me approval thing. I'm talking about the breakdown she was having about something not being where it was supposed to be at. And I can't remember what piece of clothing it was.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
It was
just like
a beret.
Something, a beret.
Beret, some beret, some she
did. It was berets. Yeah. It was definitely berets.
Berets. Okay.
And the breakdown she had for that made me think about how my cousins would have breakdowns and then get sent to the upper room by my grandma. So it made me curious. That's all I'm saying. But he leaves for work. I'm gonna skip ahead in the notes to say this right now, because I didn't know they were married till I just read this on IMDb. Wasn't sure. Thought they were boyfriend and girlfriend. They're fucking married. Because he said this is my third marriage. He says when he's talking to Neil, this is my third marriage. It's about to fall the fuck apart. You know why it's about to fall the fuck apart? Because he's a goddamn robbery homicide detective. Was he not one when they met? Did she not know the hours?
Well, like, she just want him to like stop holding in all his emotion and stuff and let it out, and
she wants
discuss it with her.
She also wants him home.
She wants him to be, when they're together, to be in tune. Tell me about your day. Tell me what's going on. He plays it, keeps everything inside.
But he tells her straight up, like, you don't want to know about the shit that I go through. Like a little kid had to call 911 because his mama got shot in the face and was dying right next to him type shit. You don't want to know that. As a matter of fact, if I told you about it, you'd probably stop wanting to ask me. So I'm just not going to tell you about it. Why the fuck you mad? Why the fuck you mad to the point where you cheating on me?
Yeah, that took it to the extreme.
Like, nigga, do you not know what robbery, homicide? Isn't there a HIPAA code? Am I allowed to tell you this shit?
Little pillow talk.
This ain't no pillow talk. Smacking that ass. Smacking that ass. So, baby, there was a crack dealer.
Pillow talk happened after.
Who fed crack to a 3-year-old when the cops were coming in to try and hide it, and the crack baggies that he had it in weren't good against the fucking acid that was in the 3-year-old's stomach. So the crack bags exploded and the 3-year-old died. How was your day?
That's a good conversation starter.
Made some muffins, cleaned the house.
Oh, word. So another person got their foot stuck underneath a semi-truck, sheared the whole fucking thing off. They bled out.
Yeah, but we watched the movie. Every day wasn't like that for him. Even in the movie, he had some slow days.
Yeah, he ain't doing shit, but lacking.
Yeah, I don't understand how the fuck he's robbery, homicide. Like, that's a big change tonally in your job. Luckily, there were robberies and homicides up the ass in the next couple weeks. But that part. So, like I said, the same day Waingro meets the group is the same day that they named Danny Trejo. That's his whole fucking name in this movie because he wasn't supposed to be in the movie.
What was that?
Movie.
At one point,
he was in the fucking movie.
Stu?
He was
two. It was the every time. Two. One time he talked, some said, I think it's like TU. It's because what about you two?
He was supposed to be an advisor for this movie, him and another criminal, to show, how they walk and talk and do everything. And then he told them something and they were like, that's a great idea. Why don't you just grab one of them outfits? Oh, fuck that. You can just wear what you're wearing.
That definitely seemed that way. He just wore what he wore to say.
Just like, walk on scene and just wear what you're wearing.
That's what I'm wearing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Great. But like I said, same day Waingro meets the group, same day they go to rob this fucking armored truck. Neil and Chris, who's played by Val Kilmer, Iceman, is wearing paramedic outfits, and they stationed the stolen ambulance that Neil fucking jacked earlier.
Smooth as a bitch too. I'm like,
nigga walked into the emergency room and walked right the fuck back out. He even looked around and saw all the activity going on before he walked down the hall with a clipboard and drives off in one of their ambulances. And that shit, if that shit don't remind you of Grand Theft Auto, I don't know what does. Because
you see how far confidence in being a white man gets you?
Man. That nigga,
no troubles.
But here's the crazy thing about it. Though, ladies and gentlemen. They're doing all of this shit day of. What if there are no ambulances in the dock with keys in them? I just like thinking about shit like that. What if this didn't happen? Anyhow, they stationed the ambulance on Venice Boulevard. Waingro gets picked up and driven over there. But Waingro is already mad because Michael told him to shut the fuck up, Slick. You gotta stop talking to me. Trejo radios at the armored cars 300 yards away because, again, they're very precise about this shit. Neil, Chris, Waingro, and Michael slip on hockey goalie masks to conceal their faces. And they move their vehicles into position. And then they put the ambulance in drive. They activate the lights and siren and execute a 3-point turn to block the armored cars that approaches from the west. At the same time, Michael, floors the gas pedal of the tow truck that they have and ram into the side of the fucking armored truck. The armored truck stops because they can't go past Neil. And the two guards in the back are reading their newspapers. Because why not? Who the fuck's going to break into an armored truck? The list of jobs that I would never take in my life. At the top of the list of jobs that I will never take in my entire fucking life, number 2 or number 1 has to be a fucking armored truck driver or security guard. I've seen too many fucking movies.
Yeah.
Security guard at Arkham Asylum is number 1.
Nigga, Arkham Asylum's not real. But what is real is working at a Waffle House.
Yeah, but them armored truck drivers is scrap. Don't nobody mess with them. You only see people.
Movies.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You only see armored trucks get robbed in movies, because in real life, them dudes is scrap.
I don't see them get robbed in real life because I don't be looking for it. But I wouldn't want to work in one because, yeah. Okay, Brandon. So they don't get robbed because they're strapped, but there's always the off chance, right? And what's more tempting than working in a fucking car where if somebody else farts in the back, guess what? You're smelling it because there's no windows. I just wouldn't. I could not. I'm good. I'm so good. Also working in a bank as a bank teller. I'm cool. Especially now. I feel like everybody does their deposits and shit online. Only person that's coming in there is to rob the bank.
Yeah, the only people coming in the bank is because they don't actually have no money in banks no more. It's just old people.
And people who robbing the bank.
But that reminds me, every time I watch these movies, I get so nostalgia for like less technology in life. I watch these movies with people reading newspapers and fucking simple ass TVs, and everyone don't have a cell phone or tracking devices and doorbell cameras. I'm like, I get nostalgia for the less technology.
You want to go back to them days?
You sound so much like the niggas who are like, I love to go back to the 30s and just see what it was like. And nigga, do you realize the racism? Look, you can go back to 1995 all you fucking want. People could talk about how great the 90s were. You know what I remember about the 90s? What I remember about 1995 specific fuckingly?
OJ?
It was still, no, nigga, it was still part of the crack era.
He said OJ.
Nigga, I still couldn't wear red and blue in my neighborhood without looking around first. I'm good. I like where I'm at. I don't get nostalgic for the past. I can buy the past now. I'm an adult.
Oh, I'm anti all this technology.
Really? Really? What word? You're anti-technology?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you sitting at right now?
What that got to do with anything? I'm not about to live in the past.
Where are you sitting at right now?
We had computers in 1995.
Yeah, okay. You're sitting in a computer room, right?
Yeah.
With your computer and your video games and a TV.
I had video games in 95 too.
Yeah, okay. With all this great stuff that you wouldn't have been able to fit in one room because, first of all, back in 1995, TVs cost weighed like 200 pounds.
No, I had a little TV. 95. Them little TVs weren't that heavy.
You would have had a 13-inch.
You talking about a
TV.
big screen TV? I mean, we had little TVs.
You would have had a 13-inch screen.
Look, you talking about you ain't no better back then. There wasn't no such thing as a flat screen.
Yeah, you would have thought a 27-inch TV would have been the epitome of everything, and a 27-inch TV would have weighed 200 pounds.
Talk about so it helped me,
right?
That's right.
On your own.
Get out of my face with that shit.
You only thinking about the good things that come from technology. I'm thinking about all the bad stuff.
What bad stuff comes from technology that you'd rather not deal with?
Social media.
Nigga, that's how we met.
Yes, that's the good thing. My personal life does not outweigh all the terribleness that it's caused.
I feel like you just watched Ice Cube's War of the Worlds. That's what
Mm-mm.
right there.
It's, I watch these movies,
So-
man. People be you know what? You watch the movies back then. Guess what people are at in these cities? Outside, walking around, engaging with people, going to the store. People went to the bank back then. You just said it. Nobody go to the bank no more.
No need to.
You know what?
Exactly.
Nigga, I don't want to. You know what was awful, Brandon? Waiting
You
in
out
line.
of the brain.
Waiting in line at the fucking bank.
It's Lord.
Waiting in
Mhm.
line at the bank. I don't know if you remember this, nostalgia boy, but
I
waiting
do.
in line at the bank in its peak was like a 30-minute wait.
Would they hit you with the sorry, our AC is broken.
Yep.
Y'all is sitting there. Y'all gotta hurry up. They moving.
You take the
And-
good with the bad.
And you get up to the front and then you got to fill out a deposit slip with your hand and a broken piece, a broken
Those
pencil.
were the days, man.
Man,
You
gotta
weren't
stop.
even in them
You
days.
gotta
Cut that
stop.
out. Cut that out.
I did that.
There was nothing memorable about
Yes,
the 90s
it's called
that did
people.
not get transported to now.
No, it's called people interaction, which we don't have anymore.
You know why we don't have people interaction anymore, Brandon, for real? COVID.
No, it was long before COVID. You know what happened when we had newspapers?
Oh, COVID. You know, two things. COVID and
Social media.
helicopter parents. No, not social media. Helicopter parents. You know why? Because the generation after us, we wouldn't let them go outside. You know why we wouldn't let them go outside? Because the Catch a Predator came out and scared the shit out of people.
Yeah, but but we don't let people go outside now, and it's way safer than it was when we were kids.
I mean,
But
kids don't even want to go outside.
kids don't want to go outside because while they were inside and before they were inside, as soon as online game was available, they made shit where the kids didn't have to go outside. I don't gotta go outside and play
Exactly.
basketball. There's 2K. Nigga,
And now we got these kids who can't talk to people.
stop.
Bad personal skills.
But you're both making some great points.
Stop.
All I'm saying is I acknowledge the benefits of the new technology. People don't want to acknowledge all the harm it's caused. We
I'm
used to
aware of
be
the
a
harm.
proper
I have
society.
kids.
You used to be able to
But
go
when
and
you-
talk to people. Remember when you
Yeah.
was a teenager? You could get a whole day. You could get a whole weekends of entertainment just walking through the mall. Just walking through the mall.
I mean, being outside, you know what I mean? When you was a kid, was just the shit.
You keep saying going outside. Like, that's the one thing you got is going outside.
And
That's all
talking
I
to
did.
people.
They talk to people.
We used to,
all
when
day
we had
long. Have you not
newspapers,
heard these fucking
when we had
kids?
newspapers, we had one set of news, right? We had
No.
yes, we had
First of all-
newspapers,
first of
and
all,
we had the
Brandon,
nightly news, and people
No,
all
no.
listen
When
to
we
the
only
same
had-
news.
When we only had a newspaper, since you're doing that soon, when we only had the newspaper, you know what we had? We had biased news.
No, we had
I'm not
journalists.
saying it was fake news or anything like that. I'm just saying that we in here where I'm at, we literally had to create the Observer, which was a newspaper for Black people. Every city that I know,
Yo, you
had at least
discussing
one Black
racism?
newspaper.
That's not no different now. It's actually worse online.
Yeah, but at least there's places where you can go to get more information.
I
Back
didn't mean to
then,
get
there
us
was
on
only
a
one fucking
tangent. I just
newspaper.
watched this movie with so
Yes,
much
you did.
nostalgia. I'm watching them go to the bank
you
later
did.
in this episode, and I'm
This
like,
nigga
look at
gets
this.
so
Look at.
nostalgic.
Remember when we used to have downtown and we had the giant buildings and everybody would be down there working and going to the restaurants and everybody be outside and people were taking cabs places. That looked like so much fun. World, it don't look like that no more, man. I go to downtown, it's like a ghost town, and I live in one of the biggest cities in the country.
I wish
It's
I
not
was
New
there.
York. New York still got people. That's like the only place that still got people
It
downtown.
ain't what it used to be though. After COVID, it used to be like going to Times Square. Used to be like a fight. Now it's like there's a lot of people there. Nigga, still a lot of tourists and stuff now, but it ain't like it used to be.
I'm just saying, just keep waxing poetic and jacking off on your nostalgic trip, but I ain't going back. I lived it. I know exactly what it was, and I'm cool. So, look, yeah, maybe social media did some shit that affected people.
Big
Great.
number on kids. I will give you that.
Mm-hmm.
Because now they don't really know how to socialize.
But that's because the kids literally grew up in an era where there was no, like, we made the decision to not make them go outside. We made the decision to make the internet so prevalent. We made the decision to give them fucking phones. We did that. The kids didn't do that. They can't afford that shit. We did that. And now we're like, man, I wish we hadn't done that. But you did it. And that box can't be covered. It's like Pandora's box.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can't put it back in the box. I'm just saying.
You can't unring that bell, but we're the ones who rang it in the first place. Like, it's not like kids were like, it'd be great if we never went outside and we just played video games with our friends all day. If our parents told us to get the fuck out and stood on business and we did the same thing our parents did, guess what? The kids will still be fucking outside. If our kids were like we were, where my parents were like, you can only play video games for 2 hours on weekends, we would still be the fuck outside.
Yeah.
But we didn't, because niggas were so mad about how their parents treated them that a bunch of people, white, black, Asian, Hispanic, Eritrean, Samoan, were like, you know what? When I have kids, I'm never going to do what my parents did to me.
You used to talk to me about your son playing basketball, and I will always say to you, why don't just go play basketball at the court, like down the street? And you were like, they don't play basketball at the courts. It's like always in the gym.
Why? Because the court down the street was a netless 9.5 inch, 9 foot rim that everybody could dunk on. There was no fun in it. And I didn't want him going there because I didn't want him playing with people who were lesser than him and getting hurt. All the adults were in the gym. You know why they were in the gym? Because they could fucking afford it. So I sent him to the gym.
That's right.
So while everybody else is out there playing against little kids shooting on a 9 foot rim and fucking a jump shot up, my son was in the gym playing against adults who would then not pick him up for teams and made him fight for everything he had to get on the court.
That's right. That privilege. You instilled that privilege.
I instilled that dog. One of them went to college. The rest of them are still out there on the block, but they ain't playing ball no more.
You think Neil could have pulled off all these heists if he grew up in this time period? Absolutely not. You think people know how to rob banks now? You think our criminals know how to rob banks? I don't think our criminals know how to rob banks.
They know how to do it through technology.
Through technology, that's right. They can't take their ass down there and rob a bank.
Yeah, they ain't doing no physical work to do it now.
Look, and that's what I was going to say. You ranting and raving about it, but honestly, Neil would have just found another way. A thief is a thief.
That's true. That's true.
Is a thief. Like, look, I could send the worst nigga to church, and you know what he'd be? The worst nigga in church. It ain't gonna change shit. Neil would have just hired a fucking hacker, and they would have just been.
That is so true.
They would have just been robbing the fuck out of people, like old folks, like getting their social security numbers and shit. Neil would have still been doing his shit. The only difference is there wouldn't have been a fucking Wayne Grow.
Well,
no, there wouldn't have been no Wayne Grow. That's true.
So
I mean, there's Wayne Grows on in the world now. They just be trolls online.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have been running with Neil and them. Like, he wasn't even on the circle in the dark web.
They find people on Backpage and kill them. That's the Wayne Grow in 2018.
So they hear I'm getting back onto the movie. And all this nostalgia.
I'm sorry, Jeff. This happens sometimes.
Nostalgia is worthless. Nostalgia is worthless, bro.
Don't do that.
All I'm saying is this: you never walk looking over your shoulder.
Put it this way: nostalgia for me, I love it when it comes in video games and movies.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And I can get access to it. But what I'm not gonna do is be like, you know what? Times were so much better back then. No, they weren't, bro. You keep looking back like that, you're gonna trip over your feet.
I just talk about those specific aspects. I think that's a big part of life. That's all. I think interaction with people is important.
Look. When's the last time you went out and interacted with people?
It ain't nobody to do it with. Oh, look, yes, walk by myself.
Look, real talk.
I mean, we are the age now where
there's so many groups out there, because we're at the age now where you can go on Eventbrite and find groups. There's walking groups, there's drama groups, there's karate groups, there's biking groups, there's drinking groups, there's brewing groups, there's groups for every fucking thing.
I'm in a Black Nerd group.
You can literally specifically find your group and go interact with them. We just choose not to, and then we blame time and social media.
You know they got arcades back now.
Wait.
Yeah, I got one right behind me. But yeah, there's like 4.
No, I had a meetup. I had a meetup with our nerd group. We went to this place called Cidercade, and they got all the old arcades. It's like an arcade. They got all these old arcades. But what do you call them? Not machines. I forget the word you call them. Cabinets. Yeah, all these different arcade cabinets, and then they sell hard cider, different flavors of hard cider. And so you get your hard cider, and you walk around. There's a bunch of 20 somethings in there and early 30 somethings, and then people. It's usually like really young people that's like, oh, what is this? It's an arcade. Like, what is this thing? And then there's like people like 35 and older. They're like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. And they're in there in the arcades, right? They brought that back because there was something about going to an arcade that made you feel good.
Stop. They brought it back. They brought it back, and it's gonna fail. You know why it's gonna fail?
Popular.
No, because the games are literally better at home.
That's what they say about movies.
Unless no, the games that they can get at home are better than the ones that are in the arcade.
But it's for 35 and older. It's
for the nostalgia. Exactly. It's that nostalgia thing. These kids ain't got no nostalgia. So you literally can't reach, let's say 27 and under are not going to the arcade.
Yeah, that should be in there. College kids be in there.
The only way that they're going there is to drink and then play games around it. So it just happens to be a bar. Dave and Buster's. Y'all were talking about arcades. Dave and Buster's have been around for a long fucking time. You know what Dave and Buster's does every single year? They fucking struggle.
Because Dave and Buster's, they got the wrong structure.
It's an arcade.
It's something like an arcade.
It's something like that's the best way to put it.
Let's start from the ground up. Chuck E. Cheese is struggling. Dave and Buster's is struggling. John's Incredible Pizza is struggling.
Chuck E. Cheese went away from the arcade field. They went
and turned more into a casino.
Whatever it is, I haven't been in so long, but it's not an arcade. It's not what it used to be. Dave and Buster's is similar to an arcade, but it's not an arcade.
You played Hollow Knight. You talk about how Hollow Knight is great. You know what Hollow Knight is? A Super Nintendo game. That's exactly what Hollow Knight is. A Super Nintendo game.
But guess who played Super Nintendo games? Me. Guess who didn't play it? My son. Guess who doesn't play Hollow Knight? My fucking son.
But a lot of kids played Hollow Knight.
Valorant. He plays Valorant and he plays 2K and Fortnite. Why the fuck would they go to an arcade when they can't play Fortnite there? You know what they have in arcades? Let's be real, Brandon. You know what they have in arcades?
What?
Minecraft Arcade.
Oh, yeah, probably. The arcade.
No, not probably. They made a whole version of Minecraft where it's like this action game for the arcade to bring in the kids who wouldn't have come in otherwise. So yeah, the arcades are still there, but as time goes on, as the sands of time continue to drift through that hourglass, less and less people are going to go to the arcade because it's nostalgia. As people die, so the nostalgia. And there's going to be a whole generation of kids who have never fucking heard of an arcade.
I know.
That's a damn shame.
These kids don't watch. These kids don't watch the old TV shows. When I was growing up, I didn't just watch what came on new. My parents made me watch the old shit.
That is true, because I love to sit here and rewatch Sanford and Son.
Yes.
Because that's my mom and dad used to
watch. Yeah, I didn't grow up with Sanford and Son, but my parents and my uncles and shit made me watch Sanford and Son, and I got into it. These kids today not watching shit from the late 80s, early 90s.
You know why you got into Sanford and Son, like y'all said? You watch it with your parents, your uncles, your aunts, whatever. You know why? Because there wasn't a goddamn TV in your fucking room.
I had a TV in my room. I had a TV in my room.
I didn't get a TV until I was maybe like 13 in my room. Yeah,
exactly.
12,
and by then, the structure was set.
Yeah.
You came in the
front room. You got to remember, I'm a little younger than y'all. I had a TV in my room.
Look, we're supposed to be talking about one of the greatest movies of all
let's
time.
get back to the movies.
Want to take us back down fucking memory lane.
Well, it reminded me. It reminded me of that. I was just I was watching the movie.
You want to go back to a time where if you wanted to jack off, all you had was spit or else fucking Vaseline.
Real talk though, it's nothing like the arcade. It's nothing like going to the arcade. You waiting to play a game. You said you put your quarter up there, and be like, I got.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful time, and there's a reason why I bought a fucking arcade cabinet for myself, because I literally would come in here and work and just have the arcade playing in the background with just the white noise, just the sounds and the demo modes and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing to me that gives me more energy than an arcade. There's nothing more beautiful than an arcade. But I'm not going to tell my son this was the end all and be all for me, so it has to be the end all and be all for you. The world moves on, and our generation is a generation who made it move on so quickly.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying it's our fault. We not making our kids watch the old shows or care about that stuff.
It's not about making our kids do jack shit. It's that we give our kids so many fucking options that they don't have a choice. When we were growing up, even cable only had 100 channels.
Yes.
So if you're going to watch a channel, it's probably going to be something where you like it. Nick at Night, whatever channel, fucking Sanford and Son and all that shit was coming on, which was usually like the local channel that also showed the fucking kung fu movies on weekends.
That's right.
They don't show that shit no more. Look, it's not something to be nostalgic about, I guess. Maybe it's just something that I'm like, it is what it is. Time moves on. And I don't want to stand there and think about what happened back when the sands of time were before my time. My son does not want to sit back and hear me talk about or wax poetic about the past, because he's living in the now. And you know what's happening right now? His life. It's like what Mikey said on the Goonies. Right now is our time. And so I'm not going to sit there and be like, yo, the stuff y'all are watching is shit. The stuff y'all are doing is shit. The stuff y'all are playing with is shit. The place you hang out
it's all better.
Shit. It is.
Yeah, it's all better.
These kids got a gravy. They don't really even know it. But yeah.
And you know what? I worked so fucking hard to make sure that my kids had everything that I couldn't have, that I am not mad at shit that they do when they do something that steps outside the veil of what I would want them to do. So when they go to the gym to lift weights and play basketball all fucking day long, because even now when he comes home from school, the first thing he does as soon as he sets his bags down is hop in the car and go to the gym and play ball. I'm not mad at that. I'm not going to be like, yo, I asked him once. I was like, hey, do you want to go to the movies with me? And that was when Fantastic Four came out. I was like, hey, do you want to go to the movies with me and watch Fantastic Four? He said to me, and I quote, Dad, we're in Miami. I'm never going to get another opportunity to get in Miami and be in Miami with my friends. Because this is when we were doing the cruise for his graduation. He was like, I will never get another opportunity to be in Miami with my friends. And you know what they did in Miami? They literally walked 14 miles up and down the Miami beach.
That's how you're supposed to do it. That's what we did back in the day.
So depending,
you're trying to modernize the kid. He's trying to be nostalgic.
No, he's not. He's hanging out with his friends. Depending on the opportunity and the situation, kids will do what they fucking want to do.
I mean,
your son trying to go to Black Bike Week, and you want him to go. He's trying to go to Black Bike Week, and you want him to go watch Fantastic Four.
Yeah, if I'm 17, I'm doing the same thing.
That nigga wanted to walk the beach and see what's going on.
Exactly.
Look, I didn't force him. I wasn't like, yo, you need to do this with me or anything. I was like, oh, that makes sense. And I went to the movies because I want to do that. But what I'm not going to do.
Brandon's saying is, if we were that age, we would have did the same.
I'm saying he's doing exactly what you do in the past.
What I'm saying is this. I feel like me saying, yeah, go for it, go do your thing. Brandon would have been like, back in the day, nostalgia face, we would have done this.
It would have done exactly what he did.
My kid who is in the era where they never go outside, never do this, never do that, went and walked like 14 miles up the Miami.
Exactly. And he probably had a great time.
Which literally goes against everything you're saying these kids do.
No, it's proving my point. I'm saying that's the stuff that's fun that we're missing out on. And you know why he was so excited to do it? Because he probably never done it.
No, he does it all the time.
He probably
That
never
nigga's now
done
in
it.
LA. That nigga's now in LA making his living on fucking Venice Beach.
There
Like
you go.
he's in them streets.
That's what
But
I'm talking about. Safely and smartly, because you raised him right, but he outside.
what I'm saying is this: when kids want to go outside, they're gonna fucking go outside. But if you make them go outside, you know what's gonna happen? I used to hate going to my auntie's house because she would throw us out at like 9 o'clock in the morning in the middle of summer when it was 92 degrees outside. And only thing we could do was drink water from the outside hose. We weren't allowed to come back in. We weren't allowed to do none of that shit.
And that's those are
No,
the
it's
days.
not. No, it's not. Not when it's 97, 98 degrees outside.
I reflect on those days, and I have stories like that too. And y'all motherfuckers had us drinking out of hoses. Like, what was in them hoses, man? What was going in our body?
Mold. A lot of mold.
And they were adding, oh, it's some water out there in the hose, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know that shit tastes metallic for a reason, right? There were bugs in that hose. Like, I don't know. Like I said, Brandon, you lived a semi-charmed type of life when it came to your parents and everything. So I'm not really like your parents told your family members they weren't even allowed to hit you or whoop you or nothing. So you lived a very different lifestyle than I lived. But when I was growing up,
Brandon, what?
No. That's not what I said. I said that they used to try to do that, and my mama would be like, chill out. Except to she wouldn't say it to my grandmother.
Yeah, so your parents would tell your family members they couldn't hit you.
So are you the baby?
Yeah, I don't have no siblings.
He's the only child.
Oh, okay, I get it.
So his life was much different from mine.
No, I didn't say I didn't get whoopings. I grew up in the South.
All right, let's get back to this movie. So again, the robbery. Now I got to speed through shit, Brandon. Thanks
I'm
for your nostalgia tour.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
No, I'm sorry.
Damn 3-hour movie.
God damn. And Brandon with the fucking 30-minute nostalgia tour. I just wanted to say they were reading newspapers. You know what I miss? Newspapers. Get the fuck out of my face.
I definitely miss newspapers.
I do kind of miss getting the paper, pulling out the sports section and looking at those. I remember that when I started reading the newspaper. So
I don't miss Jack.
And I miss the content of newspapers. That's a whole nother discussion that we're not getting into.
I don't miss jack shit about the past, except for my youth.
That's and when you didn't have any bills.
Yeah, that's about it. So they fucking robbed the fucking armor car. They use an explosive charge. Chris puts an explosive charge that he paid for at fucking Home Depot to open up the fucking back of the armored car. And Neil and Michael climb into the armored car and drag the shaking guards, who are also deaf because a bomb just went off right next to him inside of a really small space.
Ears bleeding.
Ears are bleeding. Legit bleeding. So Waingro takes that time to suddenly start pistol whipping the first guard. Why'd you do that? He wasn't listening to me, bitch. He's deaf. Chris finds the specific envelope the crew's after. He exits out the back of the truck, and everybody begins to head to the ambulance and move out. Everything's good. Even though you just pistol whipped somebody for no fucking reason, we're still good. You have on a mask. Nobody knows you fucking did it. But Waingro decides that same fucking guard, you challenging me, bro? You challenging me? Look at this mullet. Look at my face. Look at my scruffy ass, dirty ass shirt. Do you really want to challenge me? You know what? And shoots him in the face, killing him instantly.
Man, serial killer.
Downfall of everything.
So the second guard sees the first guard get shot in the face, and he's like, "Ah, shit." So he reaches for a backup revolver in his ankle holster, and so Neil has to shoot him with his rifle. Now all of a sudden, it is a murder robbery. Michael's like, I have a gun on the last guard, and he's looking at Neil like, what do I do? Neil nods, so Michael shoots him in the chest. Now there's 3 guards dead because of Waingro. Neil is mad as fuck at Wangro for shooting the first guard, understandably, and Wangro's like, he tried to make a move to stop us. Bitch, how?
Made a move, man.
He made a move, bro. I had to dust him, bro. He was putting us in a situation, man.
Yeah, trust me, he didn't say that shit at all.
Like, the fuck is wrong with you? What goes through your head? And Neil, what went through your head when you hired this dude for the goddamn job?
Exactly.
Neil, you should know that this dude has.
I just feel someone's of Neil's stature and what he does, he's very thorough on the people that he will interact and deal with. This is nobody in the you wouldn't even think he would deal with this guy.
You should know that this nigga got, let's just say, proclivities. He's prone to do shit.
Like I said, he must have been in a hell of a pinch for another person.
Right?
Because honestly, couldn't they have pulled this job off without Wangro?
I don't know what Wangro did.
Thank you.
He didn't drive there. He didn't drive away.
He didn't. He was just muscle or just another extra gun.
He muscle, yeah. He's there. I keep trying to tell you, he's there just in case. That's his reasoning, just in case.
No, I refuse to believe that Neil would hire somebody just in case. Neil was such a precise, and the motherfucker told Vince, look, if you don't have an exit plan within 30 seconds, you're in the wrong fucking job. Anybody who talks like that isn't going to hire somebody just in case.
That's fair. But it's not his just in case. It's the other people's just in case. Just in case something goes off the rails and we need somebody to do that thing, we got somebody who will do that thing.
But
whatever that thing might be.
I still doubt that he's going to hire a scruffy, mullet-headed, dirty Nazi motherfucker.
And let's just be clear. Probably was on some drugs.
Absolutely.
And probably wasn't smart.
Yeah, he probably had dusted up before he even did the job. So it's just like, what are we dealing? We dealing with an unknown entity right now. So
Wayne's bro looked like he was a meth head.
There you go.
Like they would have called him a speed freak. Because honestly, somebody letting their mood shift that swiftly, yeah, you want something, bro.
Because it was almost like Michael was similar, but Michael was
refined,
controlled, you know, whenever need be.
Which is why he was looking over at Neil before he made moves for a lot of the things they did. Even when they were talking about, we're either going to rob this bank, we're going to dip out. Michael was like, Neil, whatever you want to do, I'm down for.
I'm with you.
Yep. So as the police descend on the area, Neil and his crew get in the ambulance and drive a few blocks away. And then they get out the ambulance and climb into a nearby station wagon. And Chris plants a firebomb in the back of the ambulance that destroys their weapons and gear as they drive away. This reminded me of Dead Presidents. When that motherfucker put the bomb on the back of the armored truck and blew up all the fucking money.
Right.
I'm like, this is how Goofus does it. This is how Gallion does it. That evening, Neil meets up with another motherfucker named Nate, another mulleted motherfucker. That's what I'm supposed to be saying. MMFs, mulleted motherfuckers. Nate is his money laundering expert. And Nate is played by John Voight.
The fucking hair.
I feel like he looked at Wangro and was like, I want that too.
That shit's gonna bother me forever. I hate John Voight, that fucking wig.
Man, I just every time I see him in that wig, all I think about is I got friends in low places. Like, how you meet him, Neil? But Nate tells Neil that the envelope they stole contained hundreds of millions in bearer bonds from a company called Malibu Equity and Investments. And it's owned by an entrepreneur who's crooked named Roger Van Zant, who's played by William Fichtner, who later on in life would pursue the motherfuckers from Prison Break. That's all I knew him from was Prison Break. Nate agreed to set up a meeting where where they're literally going to sell Van Zant back his own bonds because his insurance is going to cover the stealing of the bonds, so he could buy it back and at a 60% cost and still keep 40% of the profit, plus get his bonds back. Nate tells Neil of another job offered by a man named Kelso that'll bring in at least $10 million. Oh, the 90s. Oh, the 90s. Because if you had told somebody in 2025 that the job would bring in $10 million, they would have been like, why? My house costs like $3,000 to rent for a week. Like, $10 million. Get the fuck. There's 5 of us because we hired Wangro. It's only $2 million. Get the fuck out of my face. Nate asked Neil what went wrong with the heist, but Neil's like, you do not want to fucking know. Vincent arrives at the scene of the heist and begins investigating. And his team is Detective Casals, Detective Bosco, Detective Bubba, Michael T. Williamson, Detective Drucker, that's his name, Bubba Drucker, and Detective Schwartz. And the vehicles that were left at the scene of the robbery were identified. They all got stolen. The big rig got stolen out of Fresno 2 weeks earlier. And Trejo's pickup truck was stolen out of Whittier 2 days prior to the robbery. But the ambulance was day of, people. Other than that, there's no leads. Only a nickname, Slick, that was heard by a homeless man across the street. Wangro doesn't fuck up. Michael doesn't have to call him Slick. Homeless man doesn't hear it. Nothing fucking happens. Vincent comes through and explains exactly what happened in the robbery pretty accurately, noting that those who committed it are definitely professionals, except for Wangro. He orders his team to begin talking to their informants and fences to find out who might be handling the money. He also charged Detective Casals with running the name Slick as an alias to the FBI, knowing that it won't lead anywhere, but, you know, cover all bases. At a truck stop in a different part of town, the rest of the crew and Wangro wait for Neil, who shows up. And he tells them all that Wangro has forfeited his share of the heist. We're going to pay this motherfucker out right now, so I don't have to fuck with him no more. Then he starts punching on him in front of the other diners. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there was a movie that we talked about, Brandon and I, a while back called Belly. In Belly, there was this character named Black. Black was not liked by the crew. Black knew he was not liked by the crew. Wangro was Black. The difference between Black and Wangro is that they never tried to kill him in a fucking truck stop parking lot and failed. As soon as they failed, I was like, okay, I know exactly how this shit all turns around. This motherfucker gonna turn into that humpback motherfucker from 300. He gonna go talk to the police. They were about to shoot him. Michael yells for him to stop because he spotted a police car on the street, and they hope the police haven't noticed him, so they stop getting ready to kill Wangro.
Mm-hmm.
And the police car activates its lights and sirens and hits a U-turn and speeds away. But nobody held on to Wangro during this whole situation.
Let me tell you something. There's no way on God's green earth that Wangro disappeared like he was fucking Batman.
Oh my God.
No way.
Oh my God. Ninja smoke.
There's no way. There's no way. You would have smelt him still somewhere around there. Wangro is somewhere near. He is not far. Y'all stop playing with me. Like he was trained by the League. League of Shadows. No, absolutely not.
That nigga ran away like, I'm like the wind, and just like nothing. They're looking underneath the trucks. They're looking everywhere. This motherfucker rode in with them, but he's gone.
Vanished.
Gone. Like it is like, he is gone like a fart in a windstorm. That's the only way I can sum it up. Chris gets home and gets into a heated argument with his wife, Charlene, because, and I quote, Chris gives Charlene the money from the robbery, or gives Charlene the money. Yeah, from the heist. And Charlene is like counting it, and then she's like, where the fuck is the rest?
The Super Bowl,
Vegas.
basketball, Vegas, baby. I'm broke.
Bookies.
Don't worry
And the
about
way
it. We'll get it back.
the way she asked about it, I have friends and cousins who could literally clap with one hand. Where the money at, Chris? So Chris tells her about the bookies, and she tells him that he's got a fucking gambling problem, and he's like, bitch, you can leave.
You need to fucking grow up.
Yeah, you could dip, but I'm keeping Dominic, which is their baby.
He said, you leave the car keys, leave the bank book, and go.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, fuck you, bro. I'm not going anywhere. The next morning, Hannah and Drucker bust in on the chop shop of fucking Joanna Man.
That's not who that is. Stop. But he do look like him, though.
Ricky Harris didn't play Joanna Man?
No.
No, that was played by Nunez.
Yeah, Nunez.
Oh, right. Ricky Nunez.
I forget his first name. Nunez, whatever.
Isn't
his
it
name
Ricky?
is.
Or Miguel? Miguel Nunez.
Miguel Nunez, yeah.
Ricky Harris looked just like that nigga.
That's
So
the one
much.
movie we're not doing on Hindsight.
I will never ever. So Vince and Lieutenant and Detective Bubba bust in on Albert's chop shop, played by Ricky Harris. He's one of Hannah's informants. This is why you don't go to jail, ladies and gentlemen, because once you get out on parole, guess what? You are literally gonna be a snitch.
Give me what you got.
Because if you don't snitch, they're gonna violate your parole. You're going back to jail. You know who told him that? Bubba. You know the other ways he could violate your parole? Let's see. I could say you murder somebody. I could say you barbecue shrimp, and then this shrimp, and then this shrimp.
I just call what you say. You can at least call him Uncle George. Come on.
I will not. I'm gonna call him Bubba for this whole goddamn movie.
Oh, really? Leave Uncle George alone.
When did this came out? Like the year after Forrest Gump, too.
Did it really?
Forrest Gump was
Gump had to
94.
come out like 94, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Bubba threatens him with jail time, so Albert tells Vincent that his brother Richard will meet with Neil in a club in Koreatown at 2 a.m. with a possible lead in the case. Vincent is like, bitch, you be there too. I ain't going by myself. It's 2 a.m. I'm not like you young niggas. You be there too. Neil meets with Nate's associate, Kelso, and Kelso tells Neil about the new potential heist, which is the main downtown branch of the Far East National Bank. I've never heard of a bank called the Far East National.
That sounds
Bank.
racist.
As fuck, right? But then again, there are people who use the cleaning product Spick and Span and have no problem with it.
I thought Spick and Span, that's a cleaning product?
It's a cleaning product. It's a saying, and it's also
I thought it was just a
racist-ass
saying.
phrase.
I thought it was just what you say
Spick
with
and
something
Span.
clean.
Is that still out? Do they still sell Spick and Span?
They do still spell Spick and Span, or sell Spick and Span.
Shit.
And the more I say it, the more I hope y'all are seeing the racial connotations of it.
Yeah, I wish we wouldn't.
Is that what that meant? I never knew what that meant.
So, yeah, on certain days of the week, the bank holds at least $10 million. And Neil scoffs at the idea at first because it will be impossible for his team to rob the bank with at least one employee, without one employee setting off the alarm that the police will respond to rapidly. But Kelso is a computer hacker, which literally means he just sits in front of a computer while somebody goes downstairs and has a drink with somebody, but then forgets their keys upstairs. So they come back in like 5 seconds before they come in. Kelso's like, I'm in. and music plays in the background, and then the person comes in right as Kelso disappears into the wind like fucking Wangro. That's what hackers did back in the 90s, ladies and gentlemen. Whole job. Whole bunch of lines going down a fucking computer like the Matrix. Nobody knows what it means. They're like, I just got to get into the system. They're toggling it, and then it's like, I'm in. And they always finish downloading whatever they're looking for literally 2 seconds before the person comes back in the room.
Yeah, every time. Every time.
Hannah wants to do that. And he says he knows how to reprogram the alarm system to shut itself down 15 minutes before Neil and his crew arrives. So Neil agrees to take the job, and in return, Kelso gives, or Nate gives him Van Zant's business number to set up the exchange. Neil returns back to a Spartan Oceanside apartment. There's literally nothing in it. Nothing. There's so much nothing in it that he finds Chris sleeping on the fucking floor of his apartment, which is hardwood, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
If I got money and I go to my friend's house who has given me a key to his house, and I see that he still ain't got no beds, no couch, no shit, you know what I'm gonna do instead of sleeping on the floor? I'm gonna go to a hotel.
But the fact of the matter is, that's the homie. So he knows how his homie rolls. So he's fine with it.
A1 since day one, but no pillows, no blankets, no nothing. Just sleeping on a hardwood floor. Fuck you. Fuck you, bro. You wrong for that. You know I come over here sometimes. At least have a fucking blanket and a pillow for me in the closet.
Look, man, but basically he'll get attached to too much things. So when he need to bounce, he ain't got to be taking a lot of shit with him.
Nigga, that's why you can stuff a pillow and a fucking blanket into a knapsack.
Does Neil look like somebody who's going to have a knapsack? Just no, stop.
You know what? We're just going to skip ahead a little bit because I got to say this. Neil didn't seem like that type of person until it turned out that Neil was the type of nigga who would ask a woman that he just fucking met to go to New Zealand with him.
He felt like he fell in love.
He had that instant connection with old girl.
Yeah, she did too.
Yeah,
in fact, she approached him. He was just sitting there trying to eat his meal.
Reading this book, she being nosy.
She approached him, yes. But what I'm saying is Neil, being this person who seems all logical and all that kind of stuff, asked her to go to New Zealand with him after like 2 days.
But you're talking about one person who was lonely and the other person who was alone.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't never heard of love at first sight?
I have, but not like that. And she literally told him, I don't know you and you don't know me. And then was like, okay.
I let him beat them cheeks, so she knew enough.
Right. So Neil sets up arrangements at Neil sets up arrangements with Chris when he asks Chris what's wrong with his personal life and his marriage. And Neil explains to him that he reminds him of an inmate that they knew in Folsom, whose longtime mantra was to not have anything serious enough in their personal lives that they can't leave behind in 30 seconds flat. If they know they'll be caught as criminals. Neil tells...
Remember that, because I'll come back.
Foreshadowing like a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Neil tells Chris they're going to get their money from Van Zant for the bearer bonds they stolen. And then they're also going to take the bank job from Kelso. Van Zant has said, and I quote, "We're going to murder this motherfucker who stole my shit."
Mm-hmm.
So Neil sets up the arrangement to transfer the bonds and calls Roger Van Zant from a payphone and tells him to have one of his employees call him back with an arranged meeting point to exchange the bearer bonds for cash. Just by coincidence, just a coinky dink, ladies and gentlemen. It's crazy how this shit works. The payphone that Neil is at is in front of the hotel that Charlene is fucking at. And the door that the man that comes out of the room that kisses Charlene, because they could have kissed indoors and then he could have left out, is right in Neil's view.
Sometimes it be like that, man.
Go game.
No.
Sometimes everything just lines. It sometimes just lines up.
Nigga, this ain't a barbershop. You know how wild of a coincidence that was? Like, let's really acknowledge this shit. This is L.A. To quote fucking Sheryl Crow, this is L.A. All the fucking motel. This isn't even a hotel. This ain't a 5-star nothing. This is literally Motel 4. It ain't Motel 6.
But
This is back in the day when a room cost $19 per hour.
small town, especially when you know people.
Small town in LA. And yeah, you know people, but that still ain't gonna get you in front of the one fucking payphone that this nigga gonna set up this this ain't even the one fucking payphone because he used a lot of payphones.
You're looking at it wrong.
Always.
Chris's wife was moving sloppy.
Oh yes.
That's all
Very.
That's all that is. She was moving
Very sloppy. Very sloppy.
You're supposed to get out of LA. Y'all supposed to be somewhere else, far away.
Very sloppy, but here's my question for you. Yeah, she could be sloppy as shit. She could be as sloppy as Wayne Grove's haircut.
What haircut?
What's the percentile chance that payphone was in front of the one motel that she be at when there's like 6,000 motels in LA?
It's a movie. Just let it go. It's a movie. Let it go.
You sound like my wife right now. She'd be like, man, you looking too deep into it. It's a movie. Just enjoy that shit.
Particular part. Because if you do that, you can do that throughout the whole film if you really want to.
And that's literally what happens to me. This is what happens when I watch a film like this. So he hangs up the phone with Van Zant and goes up the stairs, acts like he's a cleaning lady. She opens the door without looking out the fucking peephole. And if there's not a peephole, it's because it's a fucking motel. She didn't even look out the fucking window to see it was fucking Neil, who comes into the room and is like, yo, look, first of all, fuck that nigga you down with. You're going to get back with Chris. If Chris fucks up again, you're more than welcome to leave the fucking relationship. You can even take Dominic and I'll finance the whole goddamn thing. But what you're not going to do right now.
That's crazy. I ain't never heard anybody say that before, but
nigga paid. And I mean, Beyonce said even her boyfriend's homies were telling her shit on the low. You know, that song. Anyhow, the other man's name is Alan Marciano. We're going to see him again for some strange reason. Like, really, see it again. Hannah goes to the club in Koreatown that Ricky advised him to and talks to Richard. Richard is explaining to Vince why he doesn't think that Vince can be trusted in this situation. And also, Richard is played by Tone Loc.
What you gonna do for me?
Because Richard looks 100% nothing like Albert. Like if they're brothers, I don't see it. Different mom and different dad, I guess. Maybe they were both adopted. But Richard goes into his Tone Loc voice while they're having this conversation. And so Al Pacino decides the best way to combat it is to come back and talk to him in his Al Pacino best. And this is right when Richard is telling him that he can get killed for giving information to Vincent, for talking to the cops, because he tells Vincent that if he gives him information, there's a rival dealer, thief, car thief or whatever that he wants taken care of. And Vincent's like, go fuck yourself. And Richard's like, you don't understand. I can get killed talking to you. Brandon, go ahead and play the video.
Richard, man, Hannah is straight up, man. We do business all the time.
I ain't your cuz, you rat motherfucker. And you know, cause I say so. After I hear, what the fuck you gotta tell me?
Look here, man. You understand what I'm saying? I'd get killed for telling you this shit.
Kill walking your doggy.
Get killed walking your doggy.
This cat I was locked up with the post. Did a couple, 2-3 years. He got out, I ran into him.
If this was 10 years later, this absolutely would not be 50 Cent. This would be Most Def.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Yes.
Mm-mm. By 2005, the Expendables and everything had happened. 50 Cent would be doing this role. This is a small enough role. Most Def wouldn't have taken it. 50 would have, though.
And so,
He's a big fiend for action. Now, if he'd have said nothing, I'd have thought nothing. But he goes on and on running down to me how he ain't been doing nothing and nothing's been going on and all this other bullshit. So right then and there, I know this cat's got something going down.
So,
For this role, got it right here. Easy peasy. It'll have been DMX.
He'd have been too animated to play that character.
But against Pacino, it would have worked.
Oh yeah, it might have worked.
I feel like just looking at this, first of all, being in that close of space, I feel like Tone Loc's breath stank. The way his voice sounds, I just always thought his breath stank. Like, I don't know, smell like just chewed tobacco or something like that. Like,
He can't help his voice.
he can't, but it still just didn't help.
How we know Pacino breath though stink though?
You know whose breath probably did stink? Wangro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Capital letters. Yes.
So you can get killed walking a motherfucking doggy. It's just one of the many times Al Pacino goes into overacting overdrive in this movie. And I'm literally here for each and every fucking time it happens. I also want to say for the record that after he talks to him and tells them absolutely nothing, and Vince is like, yo, that's some bullshit. You don't know shit. Richard just happens to mention that the dude calls everybody slick.
Oh, whoa, wait a minute. Slick. Let me go back.
Mm-hmm. So then all of a sudden, Vincent's like, what do you mean slick? And Richard, who has never said this motherfucker's name the rest of the time, is like, his name is Michael Sharito. And just like that, we have a case, ladies and gentlemen.
We starting to cook.
Off the word slick because of Wangra. Vincent called his unit immediately and tells them to set up extensive surveillance on everyone that Michael associates with. That's fucked up. Neil goes to the drive-in theater where Van Zant has arranged to make the exchange. His drop man, Van Zant's drop man, arrives shortly thereafter in a pickup truck. Neil orders the driver to hold his hands up to prove that he isn't holding any weapons, and then he instructs the man to toss the package with his right hand into Neil's front seat. However, behind Neil, there's an assassin who's armed with a pistol who's hiding in the back of the pickup and preparing to kill him. Problem is, Neil didn't come by himself either. And so as the assassin creeps up on the passenger side of Neil's window, which again, Neil is on the left side. The truck is on the right side. Neil is looking at the guy in the truck, telling him to throw the bag of money into the passenger seat.
This man good.
With his right arm, right arm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This motherfucker is creeping up on him, and Neil doesn't see him, but Chris is up on top of the fucking snack bar with a scope, my nigga, with a sniper and a scope. And I swear to God, you don't need a sniper or a scope when you're only like 15 feet away. But Chris makes it fucking work because he sees this motherfucker and gives Neil a warning through his headset. And Neil literally, I can only say, crushes him and scrapes him between the cars.
He got what he deserved.
That went so thoroughly that when the motherfucker got back up, I was like, how?
He was limping, but he was up for a
Right?
minute.
That nigga was Chumbawamba. He got knocked down, but he got up again. And so Chris starts shooting with the sniper rifle, aiming at the pickup truck, and the bullets hit the windshield, splintering it right where the driver is. 3 rounds, right where the driver is, but the driver's still fucking alive and driving away. The assassin has still got his Uzi out, and he's trying to get his footing and fires a burst at Neil's car. So Neil fires back through his windshield with a pistol. I gotta say this for the record. The gunfights in this movie were some of the best fucking gunfights I've ever seen in movie history.
Top notch.
Just excellent. Just the bestest. Neil fires back through the windshield with his pistol, and Chris is like, well, why the motherfucker ain't paying attention to me? He takes his sniper and shoots him in the fucking back. Shoots the assassin. So that spins the assassin around, at which point Neil fires another pistol shot that hits the sniper or the assassin dead in the chest. And then on top of that, Neil hits him with the fucking car and runs him the fuck over.
I think he was trying to run away a little bit too. So it's kind of funny.
Nigga, you got one leg now. Where you gonna run to? You hopping. Just plead out.
Lay down.
The bag deliverer, the drop man thinks he's about to get away because the shooters are back there and my car is up here and my pickup, I'm driving off and I'm getting through the entrance, but Michael's right there with a goddamn shotgun.
Well, yeah, you ain't getting out of here.
You're not getting out of here at all, because this nigga literally steps out from behind the fence and empties the fucking shotgun into the truck.
He was done.
So,
I
Neil,
feel like if you're gonna do that type of transaction, you need to have a faster getaway car than an old ass pickup truck.
Right? Dun 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 fuck. Dun 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 dun.
What Tyson say? Everybody got a plan, so you get punched in the mouth. So
man, he got punched in the mouth with a shotgun. So Neil grabs the bag and examines the package and finds nothing in the package but fucking scrap paper. You done fuck with the wrong motherfucker. So Neil calls Van Zandt and is like, hey, you know who's on the phone? A dead man. Click up.
Van Zandt was scared as shit. Oh shit.
Hey.
Stayed in his office forever.
This was back in the day of pagers. Back then, niggas used to send the mortuary number.
Can you imagine you at work? Somebody say they're gonna kill you. You just stay at work. You don't leave.
I mean, that's where the best security is for you.
I guess so, but I just thinking about that. That means I've been in this office for a long time. Shit.
I ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. Neil, Chris, and Michael don't know that during this time, and we don't know what the time frame is, but during this time, Wangro now works for Van Zandt.
What is wrong with these people? Seriously, do they not have a situational awareness? If you see a motherfucker like Wangro, what do y'all? All right, white.
He goes to the highest bidder, obviously.
White folks are silly. That's like Wangro coming to your house saying, hey, I work with the Girl Scouts. Just wondering, would you like some cook? Man, if you don't get the fuck away from my door, I'm not even opening the door. Get the fuck
Fuck
out
you,
of here.
Dad. Like,
he just looked.
If that nigga showed up and was like, I'm your substitute teacher, I'm calling the police.
Bingo. I don't believe this. No.
Mm-mm.
Who are you, sir?
If that nigga showed up and was like, I'm just here to pick up my daughter from the after school program, I'm still calling the police.
I'm not so sure. Let me call the police.
Mm-hmm. Not let me see your ID. We're going straight to the police.
Your whole optics are just off.
We are going from A to police immediately.
These motherfuckers are like, Wangro, you seem legit. You seem believable.
You seem on the up and up.
Jesus. Yeah, all right. Wangro. If you say so.
All right, Wangro. But not only is Wangro working for Van Zandt, we also find out that the guard the Wangro shot in the armed car robbery isn't his first victim because he's a fucking serial killer who kills child prostitutes.
Boy. Yeah, I'm not even, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Brandon. My bad. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to take some time out before I go in on this child prostitute thing to mention that Al Pacino is the greatest fucking thing in white American movie history. they said later on in hindsight that this nigga was acting the way he was acting because his character Vincent had a cocaine habit, but they took that shit out. And Al Pacino still decided to act like this is the fucking devil's advocate. When they wrote this script, if they wrote this script, I'm awed by some of the words they came together with. And I'm 99% sure that Al Pacino was just ad-libbing most of his fucking lines. As proof, I offer you this scene right here.
Okay, who do I have there now?
Drucker and me, boss, and Schwartz.
Tell SAS I want full surveillance. That's 24 hours, round the clock, day and night. We never close, open 7 days a week. But the car, the house, the work, when he moves or sits, like in a restaurant, I want pictures of who he moves and sits with. Then you guys run makes on them. They got jackets. I want to see who they move and they sit with. I want it up and running by tomorrow night.
That's it. 24 hours, 7 days a week, like a restaurant. I want it like Denny's. I want it like IHOP. I want it covered, smothered, and doubled. On the double. And also, again, I'm not saying the casting ideas could have been better for this movie, but having Waingro hire a young black sex worker when he has a swastika tattooed on his stomach didn't seem that realistic to me.
No, that seems absolutely realistic to me.
Yeah, for him, but as the sex worker, when he takes off his shirt and there's a fucking swastika on his stomach, I gotta go to the bathroom and then out the window.
I don't know. Remember on Curb Your Enthusiasm on Palestinian Chicken, the greatest episode of television of all time. When he went and the woman went to his house and she was like, I don't fuck with y'all, but I'm about to fuck you. And she was fucking Larry and calling him Jew boy and stuff while she was having sex with him when they came in the house. Let's do him. Maybe, I mean, sometimes that be what it is.
I'm just saying, as soon as I said that, I realized something about Waingro that isn't really spoken about enough by us, and that's the fact that he's a fucking coward.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So Waingro might have got that swastika tattooed on him in jail so he wouldn't get beat up by the Aryan Brotherhood and could get protection. I mean, it's plausible. It's very plausible. What isn't plausible was her calling him a hot doggy, Mac Daddy. What else she calling for 1995?
Well, she trying to play that man ego. She just trying to get out there safe.
Oh yeah, very much so. And he was like, nah, you forgot one fucking nickname for me because I'm the Grim Reaper, baby.
So we supposed to believe he just be killing sex workers.
They give you the classical 90s music and fear in a woman's eyes.
Mm-hmm. And yes, Brandon, we're supposed to believe that nigga's killing sex workers coast to coast, but Neil doesn't know that when he fucking hires him.
Well, Neil's not doing background check.
And
apparently not.
And also, who knew that Waingro would be moonlighting from a serial killer job to help rob a fucking armed truck?
Waingro's looking to get paid.
He got to get money in order to pay for sex workers.
And Waingro's asking an awful lot of questions for somebody who literally your whole hobby is one where you don't want people asking you no fucking background questions, my nigga. Like, hey, y'all been together for a long time. What you do? Oh no, man. What do you do? What's your hobbies, bro? What do you like to do? You like
Waingro just want some conversation?
Yeah, like you know what? Waingro should be the one person shutting the fuck up in the car because you're a goddamn serial killer. Just a thought.
A serial killer, pedophile,
right?
Drug head,
and he has a mullet.
Well, you know, in the 90s they were kind of still running rampant.
So,
and I Vince, he has a very I like to call them a violent mullet. Where there's a lot going on at the back, but there's really a lot up front too. So it's just kind of like I call them violent mullets.
Oh my God. I don't know why Hungry Eyes just jumped into my head. But Vince is at a party with his fellow detectives and with Justine and all of them, whatever. But he gets called away to the motel where Wayne Grove's victim has been found stuffed into a garbage can by a pool. Because why hide the body? Why? Most serial killers, they do something.
He wanted to be known.
And also, second question. Wayne Grove's victim is found stuffed into a trash can. Vince gets there, and he's talking to the other detective who, for some reason, sounded just like Danny from The Shield to me. And we hear screaming behind them as we find out that the dead girl's family is showing up.
Oh, Lord, my baby.
Lady, did you not know that your daughter was a 16-year-old sex worker?
Probably didn't. She probably ran away from home.
I don't want to blame the victim or anything, but how'd they get her number?
How'd they know to show up there?
Exactly. How'd they know?
Maybe she had an ID on her. Who knows? She had an ID on her. Then they know where she used to live and all that other good stuff. So if she underage, they know who her mama is.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. Neil and his men begin to pull another heist that we hadn't even discussed yet. I had to watch this like 4 times to try and figure out where the fuck this heist come from.
I doing the wheelchair game.
I want to know how much time has passed in this movie.
Right. We don't get that ever.
At all. So it seems like the same night that Wayne Grove kills somebody, they're knocking off this thing. And then Wayne Grove has a job with Van Zant. No time frames. It just seems like everything happened in a week. Like, set it off.
But Set It Off was like 2 jobs. This is like 4 or 5.
4 jobs, right?
Set It Off was like 3 jobs. Because the third one's when they got, right? Yeah.
They
yeah.
get away. Yeah.
I need that money.
I need it, Stoney.
I tried to watch that movie. I remember watching it. I was like, man, I'm just depressed. I actually got depressed watching that film. And I was like, yeah, it's just getting older and actually just seeing the movie for what it really is.
That was the Hindsight episode. That Hindsight episode was one of the episodes where Brandon was like, I thought we were supposed to be making fun of these movies because I was not.
It's fucking depressing.
Oh, it's horribly depressing. So yeah, anyway, Neil and his men go to the precious metals repository. Sharito deactivates the alarm system above the ground on a utility pole, and Chris begins to crack a safe inside, while Neil himself stands guard out front watching for trouble. But this is the scene where Vincent has told his guys, I don't recognize any of these motherfuckers. But trail that motherfucker right there talking directly about fucking Michael. Follow him and let's see what happens next. Neil is standing guard on infrared monitoring equipment, and while they watch, one of the SWAT team members in Vince's van sits down and bangs his rifle against the wall of the truck. And Neil hears the fucking noise, so he calls the whole thing off.
The man was standing out there like Blade.
Mm-hmm. Looks right in the direction of the fucking infrared camera, looks right in the direction of the truck, and goes inside and tells Chris and Michael to withdraw. And Chris is like, I'm almost done, bro.
Go now.
He's like, get the fuck out of here. And meanwhile, one of the men in the truck with Vincent, when Vince was like, it's over, bro. Let it go. It's done. No, my boss wouldn't want me to let this go, so I'm not going to let it go.
Man, my rankle over. Get out of here, man.
Vince is like, nigga, do you want to get him on a misdemeanor? Ain't nobody got nothing in their hands. Like, what exactly do you want from this situation? So they let him go. Later on, a short time later, we don't know what time, but Vince and his team observed Neil, Chris, and Michael casing another job near a shipyard. You know who else isn't involved in this? It's not just Wangro, ladies and gentlemen. Trejo. Trejo is only there when they need a car. He is an Uber driver, ladies and gentlemen.
No, he's not. He's part of the team. Leave him alone.
Is he though? Because
Yes.
he wasn't there when they were breaking into this metals repository.
But he was there.
In
They
spirit?
decided if they were going to do the last job, they said, "You in?" Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
yeah, he was there for that one, but 2 out of 4 of the jobs, not quite. He wasn't there for the exchange of the bonds either.
Well,
but everybody else is there.
Trejo, we like to call Trejo a 6-man. We need you when we need you.
I was getting to the point where I was gonna say Trejo not being at these jobs still made more sense in the way that they fucking treated Winston in Ghostbusters 2.
You still on that?
I am.
Oh my gosh.
What's the problem with Winston on Ghost? I'm not familiar with the Ghostbusters movies like that. So.
Winston in Ghostbusters 1, Winston was supposed to be played by Eddie Murphy because he didn't get there because Eddie was doing 48 hours. They slimmed down his role considerably and gave it to Ernie Hudson, who was a newcomer to film and all that kind of stuff. No problem. Cool. By the time Ghostbusters 2 came out 5 years later, they had done the cartoon, they had done all these things, and Winston was in the cartoon heavily. They had changed up a lot of things about the movies and the real life actor style because of the success of the cartoon. The second movie was like an hour and 30, an hour and 45 minutes. Winston in the second movie, which was written with Ernie Hudson completely in mind, was only in the movie for 21 minutes.
Sheesh.
And I said Ernie Hudson is like the 4th build person in the movie. He's not going to get that much time. And that especially with that cast, with Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray.
I said that's bullshit because in the first movie, yeah, they expected somebody else to be there, so they wrote it differently because he wasn't there. But in the second movie, he's an actual full-fledged Ghostbuster. He doesn't just show up in the middle of it talking about, I'm only in this for the money. The Ghostbusters had a lot of times where they were all together, and Winston was the only one who wasn't there. A lot. And they wrote it like that on purpose with him in mind. I just thought it was fucked up. And so did he. So that I say Trejo got treated better than Ernie Hudson. That's all. Neil and his friends leave after casing another job near a shipyard. Apparently, that's what it seems to look like. And Vince and his men go to the scene and try and figure out what Neil's next heist will be. And they determine that there's nothing worth stealing from any of the businesses in the immediate area. But Vincent realizes that Neil's casing of the area was a ruse to lure Vince and his crew out in the open.
Oh, this guy's good. He's good.
He's so fucking good. Oh, man, he's getting me hard right now. Have you ever seen me be hard? Huh? Woo-ha! Oh, my God. Neil is now on a high vantage point from a cargo crane taking pictures of the detectives with a high-powered camera. Nowadays, he could just use his phone. Zoom. Now, Neil is able, through Nate, to identify Vince and his men. And when Neil meets with Nate to pick up the schematics for Kelso's bank heist, Nate tells him about Vincent, who has a long and successful history of taking down major criminals. And he also tells him, hey, Vince admires the fuck out of you. Neil still decides that the heist is worth the risk. I mean, it's kind of like, Set It Off, where the cop had a hard on for Stoney because he felt like he was the reason Stoney lost her job. Same thing, just a little bit different. Vincent returns to his house and finds that his wife is gone. So he decides to join a surveillance team trailing Neil in unmarked cars. Now, the reason why he returns to his house and finds that his wife is gone, yeah, we'll get to that in a second. No, we'll get there now. Again, I'm gonna ask if Vincent became a cop after him and Justine got together, because she hates the fuck out of his job. And it seems like such a trope of the 90s and early and late 80s, mid 90s, of the person who just hates the job that you do. I don't like it because I'm a person who's big on communication. But I understand that with a job like this, you wouldn't want to communicate everything that's going on, like we talked about at the beginning of this show. So for this to go downhill the way it was because he won't communicate who he killed or who robbed who seems stupid.
You want me to play this scene?
Nah, don't play it.
Don't play it? Okay.
Nah, but get ready because the next scene is a killer.
I don't want to see that uncooked ass chicken or overcooked chicken again. So, yeah.
And he tells her too, like, look, I'm sorry the chicken was overcooked.
All right, I got a question before I'll forget if I was gonna save it to the end, but I'll forget to ask. I'll start with Jeff. Who was better in this film, De Niro or Pacino?
Probably for me, De Niro.
De Niro was way better because
Pacino was doing Pacino things, but you know what I mean? It's just, I think, yeah, De Niro for me.
I agree wholeheartedly. De Niro never had to Pacino out.
I agree with that, but I would say Pacino because I don't think this film is what it is without his energy.
Well, the energy is there, but I think the best of Pacino for me is when you see old girl try to commit suicide. That's when I say, that's what I've been waiting for. Pacino really acting, not really just a big emoting and all that, like screaming and yelling stuff. You could tell he was like, oh shit, this is like, I care for this little kid. She's not mine, but I really care for her. I don't want nothing to happen to her. And then I got to deal with my soon to be ex-wife and explain to her that you're right. We don't belong. We don't work. That's why I enjoy Pacino the most. De Niro was just cooking throughout the film.
Yeah.
Steadily
That's
and
true.
killing the role.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask. I usually say that to the end, but I would have forgot because I forgot something last week and I was so mad.
I'd ask you what you forgot, but then it would probably turn into another 30-minute nostalgia.
Wasn't it B Street last week? We don't need to go back there.
We don't ever need to go back there. That's one street I hope got demolished. Vincent joins the surveillance team trailing Neil in unmarked cars. And also there's a helicopter on the LA freeway. Unmarked cars and a helicopter do not surveillance make. Because them helicopters, I don't know about the helicopters where y'all are from, but them ghetto birds ain't that quiet.
No,
I would have heard it. Vince is taken to one of the ground units and pulls Neil over, seemingly on a routine traffic violation. But then he's just like, fuck it. Hey, man, you want to go get some coffee?
Sure.
Well, just follow me. I know a place. And one of the greatest exchanges of the time happens. And this was the first time they did this scene because De Niro was like, I don't want to waste the energy by us rehearsing this.
Let's do it. Let's do it on film.
Let's get it on wax.
We do it live.
So he got it on wax. They got everything right there. And so fucking powerful. I don't know. Well, I mean, it's right after
I got this thing.
Justine and him. So go ahead and play that scene real quick. Because there's actually a part in the scene where De Niro is about to say one thing and then he catches himself and says something else. And I think that's improvising, but at the same time, I feel like it might have been him almost making a mistake and forgetting the lines, but then catching it at the last minute. Go ahead, Brandon.
7 years in Folsom. In the hole for 3. McNeil before that. McNeil is tough as they say.
You looking to become a penologist?
You looking to go back? You know, I chased down some crews, guys just looking to fuck up, get busted back. That you?
You must have worked some dipshit crews.
I worked all kinds.
You see me doing thrill seeker liquor store holdups with a Born to Lose tattoo on my chest?
No, I do not.
Right. I am never going back.
Then don't take down scores.
I do what I do best. I take scores. You do what you do best, trying to stop guys like me.
So you never wanted a regular type life?
The fuck is that? Barbecues and ball games?
Yeah.
This regular type life, that your life?
My life? No, my life. No, my life's a disaster zone.
Robert De Niro's so great at face acting. I love his face acting.
Robert De Niro, I feel like this is right in that same realm of his run of just great movies where he played this same character, but it was always so fucking good that nobody was mad about it because it's the same fucking guy he was in The Bronx Tale.
Let me tell you something about this scene. Y'all noticed, because I'm almost sure, Pacino ain't doing that goofy shit with De Niro. You know what I'm saying? He is okay. This is fucking Robert De Niro. I'm Al Pacino. Look, this is Jordan and Kobe right now. Let's work.
I'm dialed in. I am dialed all the way, and there has been no ad libbing. There has been none of those outbursts. And if I'm anybody else, I'm like,
shit. Why I get this?
Why I get the motherfucking doggy line? He's got a great ass. Like, well,
I got a stepdaughter so fucked up because her real father's this large type asshole. I got a wife. We're passing each other on the downslope of a marriage, my third. Because I spend all my time chasing guys like you around the block. That's my life.
Guy told me one time, don't let yourself get attached to anything you are not willing to walk out on in 30 seconds flat if you feel the heat around the corner. Now, if you're around me and you gotta move when I move, how do you expect to keep a marriage?
Pause. Right there. That's where I feel like he might have slipped up. He was supposed to say relationship or marriage, one of the two, but he was starting off saying a relationship. And then he shifted over into saying a marriage. Did y'all catch that when it initially happened?
No.
Go ahead and play that back a little bit, Brandon. He says, how are you going to do that
I
if
spend
you're in the
all
room?
my time chasing guys like you around the block. That's my life.
Guy told me one time, don't let yourself get attached to anything you are not willing to walk out on in 30 seconds flat if you feel the heat around the corner. Now, if you're around me and you gotta move when I move, how do you expect to keep a marriage?
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that. That's funny.
How do you expect to keep a real marriage? And I'm like, it's because it's the first time they're sitting down doing this together. This is on wax. They put like multiple cameras around so they could catch each of them just in case they decide to improvise something. This is one of the best scenes.
That's an interesting point. What are you, a monk?
I have a woman.
What do you tell her?
I tell her I'm a salesman.
So then if you spot me coming around that corner, you're just gonna walk out on this woman? Not say goodbye?
That's the discipline.
That's pretty vacant.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's that or we both better go do something else, pal.
I don't know how to do anything else.
Neither do I.
I don't much want to either.
Neither do I.
You know, I have this recurring dream. I'm sitting at this big banquet table, and all the victims of all the murders I ever worked are sitting at this table, and they're staring at me with these black eyeballs because they got 8-ball hemorrhages from the head wounds. And there they are, these big balloon people, because I found them 2 weeks after they'd been under the bed. The neighbors reported the smell. And there they are, all of them just sitting there.
What do they say?
Nothing.
No talk?
Just, they don't have anything to say. See, we just look at each other. They look at me. And that's it, that's the dream.
I have one where I'm drowning. And I gotta wake myself up and start breathing or I'll die in my sleep.
You know what that's about?
Yeah, having enough time.
Enough time to do what you want to do.
That's right.
You doing it now?
Not yet.
You know, we're sitting here, you and I are like a couple of regular fellas. I mean, you do what you do, I do what I gotta do. And now that we've been face to face, if I'm there and I gotta put you away, I won't like it. But I'll tell you, if it's between you and some poor bastard whose wife you're gonna turn into a widow, brother, you are going down.
There's a flip side to that coin. What if you do got me boxed in and I gotta put you down? Because no matter what, you will not get in my way. We've been face to face, yeah. But I will not hesitate. Not for a second.
Maybe that's the way it'll be. Or, who knows?
Or maybe we'll never see each other again.
Love how that when that scene over, you hear everybody else talking around them now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
that's
as they drill down into their conversation, everybody else fades out as they lock in to what they're saying. Yeah, no, that was beautiful.
That's a top 5 Robert De Niro film. This is.
Oh, easy
performance.
Yeah.
I mean, number 1 is obviously Meet the Parents. But this is
Get the fuck out of my face. I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
See, I see what you did. That was the bait. That was a good one. That was the bait right there.
I was walking with you, and then you said some shit like that.
You don't even believe that.
No, Rashanii knows. What's my favorite movie of all time?
Meet the Parents.
Best De Niro before. You know what? You entitled to your own opinion. Who am I to tell you?
Look, I'm not gonna sit here and remind you of A Bronx Tale and Goodfellas and Casino and
those were great movies
and The Godfather Part 2.
Godfather, yeah.
Sure, Meet the Parents. Why not? You want to milk me?
Exactly.
The nigga that they should have killed is killing them in the background because Wangro. It's literally Waingro takes Van Zant, who he works for, to Trejo. How Waingro knows Trejo's address? No one Trey knows. But Trejo calls Neil and tells him that the police are following him. So Neil tells Trejo to head in the opposite direction to throw the police off at him and the rest of the crew. When Neil receives this call, him, Chris, and Mike are eating at a local diner. Neil has just spotted an old prison friend of his behind the grill, an ex-con named Donald Breeden, whose real name is Pedro Serrano.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's what he fucking sounds like. I don't understand why he gave this nigga a fucking Cuban accent, but he did. And Pedro...
Hats for bats.
And Pedro is literally getting punked out by the manager of the restaurant, who's treating him like dirt because he's an ex-con on parole, and he's like, "You're gonna give me what, 25% of your fucking check, or I'm gonna call your parole officer and make something up so you go back to jail."
The man said, "I ain't had a break. Go clean the shitter, do something else, then you can go take your break."
Mm-hmm. Neil approaches Pedro and offers to give him the job of getaway driver as a last-minute substitute for Trejo. Because, lose a Trejo, gain a Trejo.
Right now, 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
That's a no.
Given how much he hates his boss, Pedro cannot refuse Neil's offer and quits, pausing only long enough to throw his boss to the fucking floor.
Where the hell you think you're going?
Wherever the fuck I want, motherfucker.
On the ground.
You know what I say? Fuck you, Jobu. I quit.
Pretty much. Do it myself.
Trejo's wife got beaten and raped by Waingro and the rest of Van Zant's crew, forcing Trejo to reveal Neil's latest plans.
Who did this to you?
Waingro, like I said, how's he know where he fucking lives? I don't know. Hugh Benny, who's a police informant and one of Van Zant's subordinates, then tips off the police to which bank Neil is planning to hit. It's the Far East National Bank. You should see them because they're going to be driving like a G6. No, nobody know Far East. No, never mind.
I like it.
At 11:30, Neil enters the Far East National Bank downtown. And while Pedro waits in the car, Neil, Chris, and Mike take up strategic positions inside the bank's lobby wearing business suits so they hide their weapons and spare magazines. They enter through different doors to avoid raising suspicion. Once inside the lobby, they take up positions near lobby guards. Neil and Chris station themselves at either end of the lobby, while Michael waits in line at a teller's desk. He then gives a small cough, signaling for him and Neil to slip on their ski masks. At that point, Chris sets down a briefcase at the teller's desk, then suddenly whirls around and hits the guard close to him with a gun and tackles him to the floor. Simultaneously, Neil and Michael whip out assault rifles and order everyone in the bank to get on the floor. To their credit, Neil says, "We ain't here for your money. The bank's money's insured. None of you need to die over their money.
No heroes.
No heroes. No Waingro. We should be fine." He then punches the uncooperative bank manager in the mouth and grabs the man's vault key and hands it to Chris. While Neil and Michael guard the lobby, Chris unlocks the double doors to the vault, unloads a set of empty gym bags out of his bag, and begins packing the money into them.
Is it just me? Did I watch this wrong? Or did they put their mask on after they walked in the bank?
Yeah, because I mean, if you walked into the bank with your mask on, folks would be like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And you won't even be able to get started.
Yeah, but in 1995, they had security cameras. That existed then.
Yeah, they were not planning on that. This was one last hit, and then they was getting the fuck out.
I think they were all going their separate ways after this.
They was going to Mexico.
Mhm.
No, not Mexico. They were just all going.
He was going to New
ways.
Zealand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, New Zealand. Yeah.
What Chris and Michael was going to do, who knows?
So, yeah, I don't know. He didn't care either. Like for real. Like, what y'all about to do? That's what Neil was like. What y'all about to do? You ain't got to go home. You got to get the fuck up out of here. The money sheets are packed so tightly that Chris has to cut the wrapping open with a folding knife to fit them in. Chris loads 3 bags, each one containing $4 million. 2 bags for Neil and 1 for himself. Neil relays 1 other bag over to Michael in the lobby, who removes his ski mask, dons a set of sunglasses, and walks the fuck out the front door.
Mm-hmm.
You know that man. He really was for the juice. That's the only reason he was there. He was bold,
right? At LAPD headquarters, a detective received a phone call from Hugh Benny about Neil and his crew planning to rob the bank, who quickly relays it to Detective Casals, who shouts out the location, and all of the officers, including Vince, race to the bank.
I feel like they would have got away if they had on gym gear.
I feel like they would have got away if the traffic was realistic.
That money was heavy.
Yeah,
The
but
car
look,
was
they
right
had a gym
outside.
bag and a full-on suit. That look, I'm like, why were you walking around with a big-ass gym bag in downtown LA with a suit on?
The car was right outside.
After
How the fuck did Vince and his guys get to that fucking bank through downtown LA traffic, which, as we just found out through, Brandon's nostalgia rush, back in 1995, downtown was packed. How the fuck did they get from the police department to that bank before they walked down a flight of stairs and got into a goddamn car?
Woo, woo, woo. Clear right out.
Nah, nigga, nah.
I mean,
you can woo, woo, woo all you want. Them streets are packed. The traffic
endurance,
is thick.
They fast on their feet.
I looked at that for a while. Like, I knew LA traffic back in 95. It was awful. It's bad now, but it was awful then. How, Bob? But like y'all said, just enjoy the movie. So I'm gonna just sit back.
Right. Yeah. They got there by vibes.
That's right, Jeff. I'm with Jeff.
Hannah orders everyone to capture them in the car and to watch their backgrounds if they have to begin shooting. At the bank, Neil and his crew quietly leave the bank, carrying the bags over their shoulders. Michael walks across the plaza to the getaway car where Pedro waits and climbs into the back seat and lastly pats Pedro's shoulder.
We did it.
Once Michael has gotten into the car, Neil walks across the plaza and climbs into the shotgun seat. And the last across the plaza is Chris. Just as Chris reaches the getaway car, a U-Haul truck moves and he spots the detective standing across the street. How?
Did you ever appreciate how happy Chris was?
Yes.
Yes. He was so happy.
Nigga, I can pay off all my debts.
That was a pure smile if I ever seen it. Like, I got this monkey off my back. My wife gonna be good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In a split second, the greatest shootout in movie history breaks out. Because Chris raises his rifle and opened fire on Drucker and Casals. By the way Val Kilmer, let's be real, the way Val Kilmer handled his gun was so fucking thorough that the military uses it as a video to show their recruits how to fucking reload a gun properly.
To this day.
To this day.
I wish I knew how they shot this. This was great. Because this was clearly on site. This was not on a set.
No, none of this movie was
This
done
is
on
at
set
location.
at all.
Yeah.
All of it's on location. I mean, we can look and see. During the famous bank robbery gunfight, Michael Mann directed the actors portraying the police to aim deliberately and only fire their rifles in the semi-automatic mode. This shows that the police were taking care to not hit bystanders. By contrast, the robbers, concerned only with their own safety, fire their weapons on full automatic, striking several bystanders in the process. In addition, the weapons accessible to detectives would normally be semi-automatic only. Were there further questions? Because they spent a lot of time talking about the gunfire in the fucking in the trivia.
No, this was such a great scene.
Like I said, one of the greatest of all time. As the bystanders dive for cover, Hannah and Bosco, stationed just up the sidewalk, open fire on Chris. Michael fires a burst out the left passenger window, and Chris turns and fires at Hannah and Bosco. Despite wearing a bulletproof vest, Bosco suddenly falls because niggas took my suggestion and aimed for the goddamn head, and a bullet hits him in the neck, and he's killed almost instantly. Chris then gets into the car as Hannah checks Bosco's pulse. Pedro starts to pull away from the curb, tires screeching as Michael fires a burst out the rear window. You know what Pedro isn't? He's not Danny Trejo. He's not a fucking getaway driver.
Maybe out the game for a minute. He was rusty.
Mm-hmm. Drucker and Casal break cover and run down the street. Michael fires at them through a side window. Seeing a police roadblock forming ahead of them, Neil fires through the front windshield. Sprinting to the street corner, Drucker raises his shotgun and shoots out the getaway car's rear left tire. As Pedro tries to regain control of the car, Drucker and Casal open up on the car, and Pedro is killed when a bullet strikes him in the head.
Boy went there and took a nap.
Mm-hmm.
Pedro, you out the game like that? That was
grand opening, grand closing. Nigga, you could have been cleaning up shit, but now this is it.
Oof. Got that fine black woman gonna be all upset in the bar.
Yeah, but that fine black woman with that horrible fucking braid wig.
Are we sure it's a wig?
That was a 90s staple right there.
That was the 90s. It was so fucking bad. My mom used to have her hair done like that. Oh my God, she has pictures. They were awful. That hairstyle was so fucking bad.
That was a 90s staple right there.
The bowl cut braids, because didn't Maxine have those in fucking Living Single?
Yes, she did. Yep.
Oh my God.
She could work them though.
Yes, she could.
She could work those.
Yeah,
it wasn't for everybody, but for
not everybody could do it.
For some reason, not everybody, but a lot of people chose to rock them. So,
So, as the getaway car rear ends an abandoned vehicle, Neil, Michael, and Chris get out the police car. As the police officers get out the getaway car, as the police officers behind the roadblock began firing all of the pistols and shotguns at them. And then the fight is on in earnest. Vince and his remaining detectives fire on three of the robbers from behind. On the three robbers from behind as they exchange fire with the police officers, whose only cover is a chain of 6 police cars. Yeah, look, several of the officers manning the roadblock are wounded because Chris pulls out a fucking M16 and goes ham on those fucking cars.
He let that thing go.
Man, what are we doing here?
Trying to get away.
Chris shoots another one. Chris shoots up the cars. Michael manages to shoot another one of Vince's detectives and becomes separated from Neil and Chris. Chris reached the roadblock first, and while firing at a police car, he fails to check on his left, and Casal shoots him in the shoulder. Neil fires another suppressing burst at the police cars, bringing down another officer, then picks up Chris over his shoulder and carries him towards a grocery store parking lot.
Had to get the homie.
My nigga, look, how many of us have them? As Neil makes his way across the parking lot, making his way downtown, 2 officers, one carrying a shotgun and the other carrying a pistol, come running around the corner. Neil fires a burst of the officers, and at that point, Hannah comes running around. Vince comes running around, and Neil fires another burst, and the shotgun-wielding officer is hit in the chest. Vince is pinned down as Neil continues firing at him, and with a clean opening, Vince fires 4 times at Neil but misses, and Neil promptly returns fire, and Hannah's unable to fire back because of civilians running around in front of him, trying to avoid Neil's gunfire. By the time he has clean aim, Vince can only watch as Neil puts Chris in the backseat of an abandoned station wagon, climbs in the front seat, backs out into the street, and drives off. But Vince hears more shots and takes off running towards the sound, and the noise is Michael, who's being chased by Druckers and Casal. Now, before this all happens, Neil tells them, we don't have to fucking do this.
Absolutely. Yes, he did.
We could literally walk away from this. Honestly, my nigga, Michael, your wife take care of you.
Oh, actually, didn't he say something like, you got your money invested and all this, invested. And you don't really need to do this. And that's when he said, no, I'm in it for the action.
Yeah, but he's like, you got money, and the money that you got is from your wife, and the money that you got, you're investing. So basically, go home and be a family man.
Yeah, go be a family man. He ain't want that.
And Michael was like, nah, that's the point where he was like, I need the juice. I love the action. I love the boogie and the disco. But, he decides to pull a Nino Brown, pick up a little girl as a shield. And unlike fucking Appleton in New Jack City, Vince fucking waits, takes up a position behind Michael, draws a bead on him, and waits until Michael turns around towards him, giving him a clean aim.
Oh, yeah, he plugged him.
Oh, yeah. Hit him straight in the forehead, killing him instantly. Neil takes Chris to a doctor named Bob who treats Chris's wound. And Neil arranges for Nate to pick Chris up and keep him hidden until Neil can find another way for them to escape L.A.
Neil got a night nurse.
Now, you talk about forgetting Tone Loc. I forgot Jeremy Piven was in the movie. I was like,
right?
Wait a minute. Why is Jeremy Piven in this movie? Did I just forget?
Yeah, I forgot too until I saw him. Then I was like, wait. Okay, this helped him catapult his career onto HBO and all that kind of shit.
Do criminals got that in real life? Like just a doctor on call?
Doctors?
Yeah, random doctor. Yeah,
that's a real thing.
There's a lot of doctors who will do that work for the money they're offering. So why not?
Like a doctor's day job is dealing with pets, but on the side,
yeah.
Oh, you got shot. Look, come on, I got you.
Yeah, I'll plug that up for a cool $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
So, Neil doesn't trust the out he's already arranged because he figures there's another snitch. So he has to find a new way to leave town. But that'll take about several hours for Nate to arrange. And Chris is heavily sedated after having his wound treated, but he tells Neil that he won't leave without fucking Charlene.
Hey. He said the sun rises and goes down with her.
Man, look, I'm gonna tell you again. Like when I saw Charlene initially, I thought that she was like fucking Charlize Theron. But then as they closed in on her face, I realized it was Ashley Judd. And then all I saw was Ashley Judd. I would have risked it all for Charlize Theron.
Hey, what's your beef with Ashley
On my
Judd?
way to Charlene.
I just don't know. There's something about
you need to figure that out. What's your problem with Ashley Judd?
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
It's a lot more movies that I don't want to watch.
I mean, she was that woman in that era who would do that. What is it? Along Came a Spider.
Along Came a Spider and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but
yeah, I get it.
But you act like she was bad. She wasn't bad in this.
I'm not saying she was. I wasn't saying she wasn't bad. She wasn't anything.
But it's just
I
because
mean, honestly, she did have one part where she did overdo it when she was talking with Neil, and she was like, "I won't go back to him. I won't."
She sounded like a frantic Karen.
Yeah, you don't need to sound like that. Like, yo,
I mean,
chill
we
the
hear
fuck
that
out.
all. We can turn on social media and see that all the time now.
Yeah, but nowadays, yeah, back then, calm yourself down, motherfucker. Like back then, I feel like Neil would have been like, "I will pimp slap the shit out of you if you
He
don't
would.
calm your
That's
ass
the
down."
homie. He'll talk. You know, strong to her, but he won't hit her.
I'll shake the shit out of you.
Yeah, he'll probably shake her. He wouldn't hit her because Chris will kill him.
All right. But Neil is like, yo, consider getting the fuck out of here. Neil also tells him that he believes Trejo betrayed them. So he goes to find Trejo.
Too late.
Neil goes to Trejo's house with the intent to kill him, only to find he is too late because Trejo was severely beaten and he's dying. And his wife is already dead. Trejo's like, yeah, I gave you up because they were raping my wife, but check this out. It was Waingro and Van Zandt. Trejo inquires into his wife's whereabouts, and Neil tells him that she's dead. Distraught over his wife's death, Trejo tells Neil, "Don't leave me like this." So,
Yeah.
you know, that must mean shoot you in the head. I got you, bro. It's a mercy killing.
Mm-hmm.
So he leaves from there and goes to Van Zant's house, where Van Zant is finally thinking he can go home safely instead of being in his office all sweaty wearing the same clothing. This nigga goes home to a house with a ton of windows and is fucking watching a goddamn hockey match. How the fuck they know where he lives? I never figured these things out. But hey, he does. And he goes to his house. And why you got so much fucking security at your fucking job and none at your fucking house? Because Neil throws a goddamn patio chair through the window. How do you get on your property, bro? To throw a fucking patio chair through your window.
That's an expert criminal right there.
Yeah, that's the best way to get in. But he throws the patio chair through the living room window and trains his pistol on Van Zant. He's like, all I want to know is where's Waingro?
I don't know.
Oh, no. It's the wrong fucking answer. Glock, Glock. Now you're dead. That's 2 down. Meanwhile, the police move Charlene and her son Dominic to a safe house. You know, the reason why they know about Charlene is because they ran up on her man in Las Vegas.
Well, we ain't gonna say that's her man, but her side dick.
They ran up on her side dick in Las Vegas because this motherfucker was running cigarettes out of Detroit.
Bro, what are you doing?
Across state lines.
We just watched something where somebody was running cigarettes.
He
The
was
fucking shield.
He was moving sloppy.
Hella sloppy. So this is the point where the guy who's played by Hank Azaria, who's primarily known for The Simpsons, but he ain't no slouch, especially not in the 90s. He asked the question, why'd I even get involved with that bitch?
Damn.
And Al Pacino's response was so perfect. So perfect. Why'd I even get involved in that bitch? With that bitch? Because she's got a big ass. A great big ass. I didn't see it. I didn't understand.
Nobody saw it. Let's be real. We didn't see it. Can't speak for the other folks out there. The folks from Mount Caucasus,
the bright people.
We didn't see it.
But Vince was on some risk it all type shit. She's got a great big ass. She's got the kind of ass that makes you just want to give it all up. So that's the reason why they find Chris's wife. That's it. Because of her great big ass. Bubba explains to Charlene that she'll be charged an accessory to her husband and serve jail time if she refuses to turn him over to the police. He also informs her that her son will become a foster child and more prone to a criminal life if she doesn't cooperate. Chris eventually shows up. Like, he leaves from Nate's place, and Neil calls Nate to see where Chris is. And Nate's like, it's a free country, dude. He got up and walked off, said he was going to find his wife. Chris shows up sporting a new hairstyle to disguise his identity. The new hairstyle is just him cutting off his ponytail.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that he had to come back for Batman, and they were like, "What the fuck did you do to your hair?" Hey, man, you know I'm doing another film.
Hey, I'm gonna cut this off right now. Too sweet. I mean, it's the same thing that, you know, the nigga on The Wire wouldn't do. Just cut the fucking ponytail off and nobody will recognize you ever again, my nigga. Like, shit.
That's your identity.
Yeah, fuck your identity. Fuck that motorcycle. Fuck everything. So,
if James Harden get in trouble, he not shaving his beard.
I bet you he would.
Please don't, because he looked crazy without.
He looks horrible without the beard, but I bet you he would.
He looked wild without that beard.
But Bubba is like, yo, let's just stand here and wait. What's going to happen is you're going to go to the window because we heard that your husband is pulling up. And when he gets here, just let us know and we'll have our guys go out there and fucking arrest him. He pulls up and she looks at him out the window and makes a signal on the railing.
So heartbreaking. Oh, that was so heartbreaking.
And he comes close to being caught, but he passed the police checkpoint with a fake ID and he gets away. Bubba tells him to let him go. They shared one last emotional look though. Like,
yeah, man, it's tough.
Neil inadvertently breaks his 30-second creed by asking his girlfriend Edie, who he met while researching the precious metals heist, by the way, to flee the country with him. Nate had made prior arrangements for the two to escape to New Zealand. However, upon receiving a tip concerning Waingro's whereabouts from Nate, instead of them going to the airport and getting away scot-free,
you had to go get him. Neil
decides to go get Waingro.
Had to be done. Had to be done.
Had to close his book. Had to finish his chapter. Had to.
Because of Waingro, all this shit is happening.
Everything. Neil goes to the hotel and sets off the hotel's emergency alarm because Nate tells him this is where Waingro is. He's at the fucking airport hotel, which is decked out like a fucking Hilton, but neither here nor there. Neil sets off the hotel's emergency alarm, clears the area, goes to Waingro's room with a flashlight and a fucking security jacket because this dude can walk through any fucking place and disguise himself in 12 seconds flat. Waingro knows that there's danger outside the door because the police are literally monitoring the door because Waingro has turned himself over pretty much to the cops to help him get out. Neil does not give a fuck about any of this. He knocks on the door. He says security. He says there's a fire. You got to get the fuck out the building. Waingro says, I ain't going no fucking where. This is bad boy for life. So Neil is like, nah, for real. Like, hear me out. You got to fucking go. Waingro opens the door just a little bit. Just opens that little door lock thing up top where you can open the door but not open it all the way. And Neil's like, yeah, fuck that shit, and busts open the door and shoots Waingro twice in the chest and one in the head, like he should have done in the first fucking place.
Look at me.
Vince finds out where Waingro's staying at by beating further information out of Hugh, the snitch. And so Vince has one of his detectives leak Waingro's location to other snitches, bail bondsmen, and criminals on the street in hopes that Neil will go after him. Which he does. Okay, that's how it all plays out. From a distance, Vince spots Edie calmly waiting in Neil's car because she doesn't know what he's about to do. She just knows they're going to the hotel and then she's going off to New Zealand with some guy she just fucking met. Recalling the 30-second discussion that he and Neil had at the coffee shop, Hannah becomes suspicious and approaches Edie because that makes him think that might be Vince's girlfriend. Okay, Bob. At that moment, Neil emerges from the building and begins heading for his car, only to realize that Vince has spotted him. Vince grabs the shotgun and begins moving towards Neil. At this critical and emotional moment, Neil defaults to a 30 seconds rule and abandons Edie, and he disappears into the crowd with Vince in pursuit.
But he waited past 30 seconds.
So let's be clear. He was in love with the idea of having somebody because he can walk away from her. Easy. Yeah. He walked away from her pretty easy.
In 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Also, let's be clear. This hotel is really fucking close to the airport.
So I think we about to say the same thing. Hey, I hope we about to say the same thing.
Go for it.
How? Now, once Neil has got some distance, how is Pacino knowing which way he's moving, left or right?
Because
North,
they had
south, east, whichever way he went. How in the world did he track him down? It's exactly every turn he went, he knew where he went to, and he was a good 100 yards away.
Because they had that conversation in the coffee shop where he said in 30 seconds, if it hasn't come together, he's going to dip out. So that told him everything he needed to know to help pursue him past airplanes to the left, to the right. No matter where he went, he was right behind him, like the cameraman from Cops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I would let it rock. It's a movie, but that's the part that bothers me. I'm like, how do you know which way he going? You okay? At what age is Pacino's character supposed to be? Let's see here.
Definitely in his late 40s.
I had him in his 40s.
Okay, so he still got some legs on him.
Yeah,
somewhat.
But the better question is why did Neil just stop to hide behind them fucking electricity things?
Yeah, you're at an airport. You're supposed to be zigging and zagging and hopping and skipping. You got.
That's a big ass airport. Keep moving. Unless he was maybe he was tired. He's like, I can't do this no more. Okay. One of us is gonna make it out of here.
I also forgot to mention that at some point in this whole thing, Natalie Portman tried to commit suicide by slitting her wrist in a bathtub.
Now, honestly, I've always thought this, but I never said it out loud. Did we really need that in this film?
No, we did not. That's why I forgot to mention it.
No.
Okay.
Did we really need Natalie Portman in the film? No, we did not. That's why I forgot to mention her. Did we need Vince's wife in the film fucking on some other dude? No, we did not. That's why I failed to mention that.
Oh, you mentioned that.
Oh, I mentioned it, but I didn't need to because it wasn't important. This whole film was built on the backs of Neil and Vince, their respect for one another, their situation, the shootout, the robbery, and Waingro's bitch ass. Waingro's literally the MVP of this movie. Gotta say that first of all, because without Waingro, none of this shit fucking happens.
Ain't that about a bitch?
Right? I didn't say it was the MVP acting wise. I'm just saying, as far as the movie goes, without him, he's the LeBron of this movie. Without him, none of the rest of the shit moves, right?
You do have a point. Yep.
Neil jumps over the perimeter fence of the airport and heads to the freight terminal, and Vince is right behind him, and the two briefly exchange gunfire until Neil moves again, finding refuge behind the electronic control system shack near one of the airport's runways. Somehow this motherfucker follows them, and the two play a tense game of cat and mouse in the dark. Neil notices that bright runway lights turn on periodically for landing planes, and he realizes that Vince will be temporarily blinded, so he makes a move to take out Vince. However, you heard that scoff, right, ladies and gentlemen? However, as Neil steps out the chute with the lights at his back, Vince is able to see Neil's shadow and, by a fraction of a second, shoots first, hitting Neil in the shoulder. As the light goes down, Vince quickly gains clear sight of Neil and, knowing he will not go quietly, shoots him several times in the chest. Vince, knowing that he has more in common with Neil than anyone else in his life, moves to comfort his will-be killer and takes his hand in his own. Neil reciprocates, taking some solace in his mortal wounds as he will not have to go back to prison. And the two men share a final reflective moment together before Neil dies.
Oh, y'all won't go on.
The end.
Great
The
ending.
end.
Sorry for picking the long ass movie.
Oh, you're good.
Sorry, man. That's a good movie, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It was long though. It was long.
During the bank shootout, it did not feel long at all.
Because the movie
Beach
just
Street felt
moves.
long.
I don't do that. Let's not start that.
During the bank shootout, Michael Mann wanted to realistically portray the damage caused by gunfire. So several of the cars used in the scene were taken to a firing range and shot at with real rifles. The bullet holes were then filled with Bondo, painted over, and blown open with squibs on camera. The gun scene battle used up 800 to 1,000 rounds per take. Oh, this movie was fucking incredible.
Absolutely. A++.
Jeff, what we doing next week?
It's my movie, motherfucker.
Oh no, it's
What you mean?
Rashanii.
Yeah.
What are we doing next week?
What are we doing next week? After everything I suffered through with Beach Street, what are we doing next? Are you serious? With everything I went through? You serious, bro?
You can't be mad about Beach Street. We just did Heat. Come on now.
You just told me this was a great movie.
No, I didn't suffer with this. I suffered with Beach Street.
So you're gonna make Jeff suffer. So what is he suffering on?
Man, look, after everything I went through in this movie, I just want to say one thing. And after I say that one thing, then y'all will know exactly what's about to happen next. Okay? Okay, good. Stripping business started in Africa. Long time ago, long time ago, white man went to Africa and he saw these beautiful black women dancing, working, living in the nude. Bucket naked.
Oh, good Lord.
You can see they public hairs.
What are you talking about?
You talking about the Players Club.
Jesus fucking Christ. All right. Yeah, thanks for the get back. Yeah, you got me.
White man see this woman bucket naked?
Because I definitely have a lot to say. My biggest problem with this movie is, and I guess it was hard back in that time, how the movie was promoted. They used just about every funny clip that was, that was supposed to be a punchline or to make you laugh in the film, in the trailer. But when you watch that damn movie, I'm like, oh, this is something else.
Yeah, but Lisa Ray is so bad in this movie.
Oh, no question. No question.
She's so bad in this movie.
I mean, honestly, so was Ronnie and so was Ebony.
And then I still don't do well with that whole rape scene. I'm just like,
oh no, not at all.
What the fuck was this in the movie for?
I mean, Adele Givens is in the movie. I love her.
Yeah, here we are.
But Lisa,
imagine a father getting mad because you're going to. Never mind. I'll save it for next week.
Wasn't no shame in our black woman walking around bucket naked?
Yes. Her father got mad because she wanted to go to HBCU.
Next week, we're discussing the Players Club, ladies and gentlemen. So.
I can't make this up.
So. Brandon's on Twitter, that cool black nerd. Black is spelled B-O-K. Jeff is on Twitter at Jeff vs. the World. I'm there at Ratchet Book Club. And the show was there at Hindsight Movie Reviews. You can leave a review on Spotify. Takes like 13 seconds. You can also subscribe on Spotify. You can leave a review on Podchaser, copy and paste that into the Good Pods app, and then copy and paste that into the Apple Podcasts app. You could donate to the show on patreon.com/singlesimulcast or on buymeacoffee.com/sscast or on the Good Pods app. You can leave a tip in the tip jar. Thank y'all so much for listening, for watching. We greatly appreciate it. Y'all be good.